Will happen in phases over the next several months. The busy roadway is a major access point for West Cobb commuters getting over to I-75. And just in time for Mother's Day, a new report finds if women were paid a salary just for being moms, they would make about $145,000 a year. The Mother's Day Index says that is a 4% raise from last year. Well, it is 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. Right now, it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather together. Triple team traffic with Smiling Mark McKay.
Big crowd between Holly Springs and Woodstock. Graham will start to see improvement on 575 in those through lanes. Crash that lingered way too long in a left lane has cleared. 575 southbound at exit 9, Ridgewalk Parkway. Still hefty delays coming out of Canton into Holly Springs, almost back to Holly Springs Parkway. I'd stick with 575 at this point. Easing up on 75 and on 400, although 400 is slow as you leave Haynesbridge Road trying to get into Holcomb Bridge Road at Roswell. And delays are going to improve between Swanee and Buford. Now the crash that had a left lane knocked out is working left shoulder, 985 north, just north of the 85 split. 85 rolling out of Duluth, still heavy, 316 past Pleasant Hill Road. Ashley Frasca has found trouble on I-285.
A crash under the airport tunnel and a couple of right lanes on 285 eastbound past Riverdale Road. That's keeping you slow. In Clayton County, you've got one headed into Cobb on 285 northbound past Bolton Road before South Cobb Drive. That in the left lane. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly to mostly cloudy today with scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon to evening hours. Today's high is 81, lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated rain shower, high near 80. Saturday, mostly cloudy, breezy, and cool, high 67.
It is 64 degrees in Austell, 66 degrees in Conyers, and 66 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Is it just me, or does today feel like a Friday? I know it's Thursday, but it's got that Friday feel. We're just missing donuts. Welcome, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Another massive show laying before you. 10:18-ish. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 just like that right here on 95.5 WSB. Next hour, going live back to Rome. We await the white smoke coming from the Vatican chimney. It's been black smoke twice so far, but the Cardinals are going to make another vote closer to our lunchtime. We're going to go live to Rome around 10:12 with Sabina Castellafranco from CBS News. Major mess continues at the Newark Airport. We're going to have team coverage on that. Travel expert Peter Greenberg's going to join us live at 10:35. Got Michael Seiden from Channel 2 in studio. We got a really, really big show. I want to start off, though, with an announcement that President Trump is expected to make about an hour from now from the White House. He posted on social media, he was teasing a big announcement today. And on Truth Social today, he said the agreement with the United Kingdom is a full and comprehensive one that will cement the relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom for many years to come. Because of our longtime history and allegiance together, it's a great honor to have United Kingdom as our first announcement. Many other deals which are in serious stages of negotiation to follow. So the headline there is that President Trump is set to announce a trade deal with our oldest allies. France might be our oldest. Anyway, one of our closest allies, United Kingdom, England in particular. So that's a big deal. Now, I don't know if that was the big announcement he teased the other day with the Canadian Prime Minister. He said in about 5 or 6 days, he's going to have a massive announcement. Nothing but good news, but maybe this was it. Let's go up to the White House. Alana Treen from CNN moments ago.
Yeah, look, we're going to see the president and some UK officials in the Oval Office at 10 a.m. I would, he's trying to dub it as a news conference. It'll likely be a couple questions with a select few reporters, but hopefully we'll get some of the real details of this, because as of now, we don't have many. And it's interesting as well that the first trade agreement that this Trump administration is striking is with the UK, because really Trump's top economic officials had been saying that they believed the first few deals would actually be with some of the United States allies in Asia, like India, Japan, South Korea. And so having this be with the UK, of course, a strong ally of the United States, is is a welcome development, I think, for a lot of people abroad, particularly in Europe. But look, as you mentioned, this is very much welcome news, not only to global markets, but to the White House itself. There's been mounting pressure behind the scenes for them to announce any sort of progress on trade deals to show that his tariffs, are going to actually amount to something. I know that behind closed doors, a lot of anxiety had been building with the need to them to really give good news to the American public on some of this. Now, we did hear the president this morning. He has been posting a lot ahead of this 10 a.m. announcement. I want to read for you one of his posts. He said, quote, "The agreement with the United Kingdom is a full and comprehensive one that will cement the relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom for many years to come. Because of our longtime history and allegiance together, it is a great honor to have the United Kingdom as our first announcement." It went on to say that more negotiations, more deals will follow. Now, one thing I do want to be clear about is he's saying that this is going to be a full and comprehensive deal. But we know that complex trade negotiations often take sometimes years to hash out, particularly when you account for the fact that they are having these negotiations with other countries as well. So what we are likely to see today, Sarah, is some of the parameters of this, some details, but likely this is going to be expanded down the line as they continue to hash out some of the core details and the language here. Now, we also heard from the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, someone who has really worked on having a good relationship with the president. He spoke this morning confirming that he will have a statement on some of this trade agreement and what's in it. But one part of this was actually really interesting in his statement. He said, quote, "Make no mistake, I will always act in our national interest for workers, businesses, and families to deliver security and renewal for our country." I think it's clear here that he's trying to let the people of the UK know that he's not necessarily going to be giving in to everything that the Trump administration has been pushing for, something we know that President Trump on his side is trying to argue that everyone else is bowing down to the United States. And so all to say, we should have more details of what this is exactly going to look like at 10 a.m. And, we'll see if they make any other news during that Oval Office meeting.
All right, so Elena Trine at the White House, again, 10 a.m., we're expected a big trade deal with our allies, the United Kingdom. We don't know what the details of this are. Obviously, the United Kingdom was hit with some tariffs when it comes to automobiles. I don't know what automobiles we're importing from England. Deborah, what cars are made in England?
The first one that comes to mind is the Jaguar. What I think of. Jaguar. Yeah.
Bentley, Rolls-Royce. So we don't know what the details are. Hopefully, we'll get them at 10 a.m. Now, this is great news, right? And I think it's a smart move to have our first official trade deal come with the United Kingdom and England, right? That our oldest partnership, et cetera, et cetera. But in the grand scheme of things, England's, a sizable trade partner with the United States, but not to the size of, say, China or India or Vietnam. I mean, it's 3% of our overall trade, I believe, is the number from trade between the United States and the United Kingdom. For example, in 2025, we exported to England $23.688 billion. That was our total exports to England. We imported $18.5 billion in products from the United Kingdom. So we're actually running a trade surplus with England, right? We send them more of our stuff than they send us, which I think would make the negotiations a lot easier. I know President Trump has been highlighting on nations where we have a trade deficit. We actually, if Vinny's numbers are right, I should preface that. If Vinny's numbers are right, we have a trade surplus with the United Kingdom. But that trade surplus has been going down. If you go back to 2002, we exported to them $33 billion of goods, and we imported $40 million. So we had a negative trade balance with Great Britain. But in between 2002 and 2025, obviously, Deborah, we've had Brexit, right, which definitely altered the things. But anyway, big news from the White House, 10 o'clock. Hopefully it'll happen on camera, and we can take it for you live here on the Mark Arum Show. But the first major trade deal will be announced between the United States and the United Kingdom. I just like saying Starmer, Prime Minister Starmer. So give me an opportunity to say that throughout the show. All right, I mentioned later on, Peter Greenberg, our travel expert, is going to join us talking about what's going on at Newark International Airport and that Real ID story. I mean, the Real ID story isn't impacting me because I've had the Real ID for my Georgia license, but I guess there are still A bunch of folks that haven't gotten that upgraded Real ID. So Peter Greenberg's going to join us. But I want to start our team coverage on the nightmare that is the Newark Airport. It has been ongoing. It's been scary. Obviously, they've lost their radar. It's just been unbelievable stuff. Joining us covering the story is our buddy Rory O'Neill. Rory, good morning. The nightmare continues at Newark. What do we know this morning?
Well, they're trying to maintain and reassure travelers that it is safe to fly through Newark. But even the folks at United Airlines, who use Newark as one of their hubs, admit that these are troubling times because of technology failures that for a moment last month kept air traffic controllers in the dark about the exact locations of planes that were coming and going into one of the nation's busiest airports.
Now, we've seen shortages, right, of the air traffic controllers nationwide, but why is it so severe right now in Newark?
Well, yeah, part of it all stemmed from years ago when they moved their air traffic control operations from Islip, New York, into Philadelphia. And then a lot of people didn't want to make the move, and then they lost some workers. And then trying to replace an air traffic controller is no easy feat. It requires years of training, 5, 6, 7 years of training to get a fully trained air traffic control operator. And then they have mandatory retirement at age 56. So it's a short career as well, and it's a very high-pressure job that doesn't get a whole lot of applicants. So that's just one of the issues. Then add on top of that aging technology, systems that aren't keeping up to date, and it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I saw that 56-year-old date the other day, and I was like, wow, that is really early retirement age. Correspondent Rory O'Neill joining us on the Mark Arum Show, getting word that the U.S. Transportation Secretary Duffy is going to announce plans for air traffic control overhaul today. Do we have any idea what that might entail?
Yeah, likely a technology rollout. And, these systems have been in the works for years. NASA has been working on a full replacement system for air traffic control for many, many years now, but it's a moving target. I think I remember hearing about overhauling air traffic control 25 years ago. But if that were the case, it's due for another overhaul, right? And this time, and it just is something that will never be completed. And that's one of the struggles. I mean, in many cases, they're still using strips of paper in order to track incoming and outgoing planes. I mean, it's an incredibly old system, but it's difficult to take the system offline, install a new one, and not have an interruption in air service. And then imagine an airport as busy as Newark, but imagine one as busy as Atlanta. Trying to make a switch of an air traffic control system is incredibly complicated, and there's no room or for a margin of error.
Yeah, I would imagine, and I've traveled to Newark, but you have other options, right, in that tri-state area. I would imagine with so many folks trying to avoid Newark, we're seeing a big uptick in flights and passengers in New York and JFK and LaGuardia.
Well, right. And there are other options, even taking the train in instead. If you're flying up from D.C. or something, or down from Boston, find other ways to get into the city. We've seen United Airlines, as I mentioned before, cut back about 30 of their regular flights there because of the chaos that's been caused by these flight disruptions. And as we know, one little disruption, one little ripple in that system, and can have a cascading effect throughout the whole country.
That's why Rory never flies commercial. Rory O'Neill, I always appreciate your time, my friend. Have a great weekend if I don't talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Mark. Talk to you soon.
All right, so, I mean, I don't know what percentage of folks were planning on flying to Newark, but Newark is a big hub for United Airlines. And if you fly United and the hub is taken out of the equation, it could impact your flights to other cities if you're going to Dallas or Chicago or LA, whatever. So it is certainly worth monitoring. Again, 10:35, travel expert Peter Greenberg is going to join us live. We'll pick his brain about the nightmare in Newark and the Real ID. And I just heard from United CEO Scott Kirby. He was at Newark Airport this morning commenting on the blank show that has been going on, the concerns that he has with the air traffic control situation, not just in Newark, though, but this problem could pop up in other places. So when we come back after a quick break, we're going to hear from the United CEO, Scott Kirby, on that. Don't forget, at 10:12, we're going live to Rome with the latest on the conclave. Is it, Deborah, is it conclave or the conclave?
Conclave, no the.
So like Concorde, right? The old jet, it was Concorde,
sure.
Not the.
Yes.
All right, so we'll get the latest on the ongoing conclave at 10:12. Sabina Castelfranco is going to join us live from Rome. And then moments after that, I'll give you another keyword in the 5K a day bonus splits. Another chance for you to win $1,000 coming up 1 hour from right now on the Mark Arum Show. All right, let's check that Thursday morning drive around town. Live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Here's Mike Shields.
And Mark, travel advisory around the airport. Crash working in 2 right lanes right now. 285 eastbound the outer loop just past Riverdale Road. Exit 60 slow as you leave I-85. You can take 85 north around the airport as a wide way around it. Or on the south side, take Godby Road to Forest Parkway. That's also parallel to 285. And travel advisory in northwest Atlanta. Traffic troopers first told us about a crash. At least 2 left lanes blocked now. 75 northbound at West Paces Ferry Road, exit 255. You can use Highway 41 Northside Parkway as an alternate. The support is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Save on stunning florals at Whole Foods Market. Prime members get 15 stem tulips for $9.99 with each through May 13th while supplies last. Shop in store, online, terms apply. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Are you telling me I'm a winner? The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my God, you just made my day.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 10.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Home's your happy place, but not when critters bust in, and it happened to me. Mark Arum here for Breda Pest Management. My wife and I were shocked to see 2 beady little eyes in the basement. So gross. Breda kicked those critters out, and we're still protected with their wildlife guarantee, even if they chew a new entry point. No one else covers that. Breda, they handle bugs and critters. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head-scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Turn your backyard into your family's favorite hangout to have fun, entertain, and celebrate this summer in a Bullfrog hot tub from Brown's Pools and Spas. Only Bullfrog offers the Jetpack Therapy system, allowing you to customize each seat to fit every body in your family. Right now, shop the Memorial Day hot tub sale. Instant rebates up to $2,500 or a free audio upgrade on select models. Hurry, offer ends May 27th. You'll be so glad you went to Brown's Pools and Spas. BrownsPools.com.
Look, your house called. It wants a bath. Not just any bath either, a full-on pollen-blasting, grime-busting spa day from Wise Guys Pro Wash. Mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off your next service. Just visit wiseguysprowash.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry.
Select varieties or buy 2 get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
If you're ready for real European car lovers to work on your Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, discover Wolfpan European Auto Repair in Roswell. And for a limited time, get a free second opinion on repairs when you mention you heard about Wolfpan on the radio. Search Wolfpan Auto Repair to get started.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Swanee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Swanee, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com.
Happy 74th birthday, Philip Bailey. The member of Earth, Wind, and Fire. He sung lead on hits, including Fantasy. He's been on the show a bunch, right, Deborah? Philip Bailey?
He has,
yeah,
yes.
He lives in Atlanta. Happy 74th, brother. Philip Bailey, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Legendary group there. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Big day today. Again, obviously, we're going to monitor what's going on with Conclave. India and Pakistan still saber rattling. And 10 a.m., we're going to get a big trade deal from the White House involving the United Kingdom and the United States. We will cover that for you live here on the Mark Arum Show. I mentioned I heard from the CEO of United Airlines. He popped up. He's at Newark Airport. Just to show you what a big story this is. This is CEO Scott Kirby of United Airlines this morning at Newark Airport.
Well, first I want to start and say air travel is safe everywhere in the country, including at Newark. What happens when there are staffing shortages or technology outages? We train for those, but really what we do is we slow down the airline. We have fewer departures at every airport so that we maintain the margin of safety everywhere that we fly. And today is actually a historic day, I think, for the FAA and the United States Air Traffic Control System. The bill that Secretary Duffy is going to introduce later today it really leaves me the most optimistic I've been in my entire career that we're finally going to get air traffic control modernized and fixed. As for Newark, it is always safe. What we've done proactively, there's more flights scheduled than the airport can handle right now. And so we've proactively reduced 35 flights. What that means is, on a day like yesterday, the airport was 83% on time with only 1 flight cancellation because we've pulled the capacity down. It's the other thing that needs to be done is to limit the number of flights at a constrained airport like Newark. It's what every large airport in the world does, with the exception of Newark. And we've asked the government to reinstall what's called level 3 slot controls at Newark to permanently fix the situation. In the short term, the actions we've taken have actually got the airport operating reliably.
United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby this morning at the Newark Airport nightmare. The concern, and we'll talk to Peter Greenberg about this, is that Newark is just the first big airport to be dealing with this kind of stuff. And could it spread to, God forbid, the world's busiest here, Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport? Good news on the fentanyl front, Deborah Green. A, quote, massive fentanyl bust. How massive are we talking about here?
This is huge. I know you and I are still hoping for another season of Narcos.
Yes.
And this is a possible storyline. 16 people have been arrested with 3 million pills laced with fentanyl. They were seized at a mega bust by the DEA. This is part of the Sinaloa cartel, too.
Oh.
Part of that arrest was actually the leader. And cartels were deemed, foreign terrorist organizations by the State Department earlier this year. But they were able to get about 800 pounds of fentanyl pills, 11 kilos of fentanyl powder, 80 kilos of meth, 7 kilos of cocaine, 4 kilos of heroin, $5 million in cash, and then a ton of guns, too, all off the streets now.
And that was from the DEA bust?
That was the DEA,
All right, there you go, DEA bust, cleaning up that's a massive haul. That's a massive. I'm surprised that the Sinaloans are in the fentanyl game. I thought they would stick to what they know, but I guess they're they're an expanding franchise. But congrats to the DEA. That's a massive amount of goods taken off the street, deadly goods. Fantastic. Thank you, Deborah. All right, news, weather, and traffic. When we come back, we're going to preview Conclave. And CDC just announced new life expectancy numbers in the United States and here in Georgia. I want you to think about what you think the life expectancy is currently here in the Peach State. Jim Ryan from ABC has the numbers for us next on the Mark Arum Show.
Welcome to Window Wisdom with North Georgia Replacement Windows. Today we're talking about long-term decisions with window and door experts, Ted Kirk and Jonathan Cullum, owners of North Georgia Replacement Windows. You guys are passionate about helping homeowners with your Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows. Why all the focus on this window?
Well, we want all of our customers to have the very best for their homes, and all of our experience in the window and door business has led us to this one window that outperforms all others.
How long do Infinity from Marvin windows last?
There's a reason we say Infinity fiberglass windows are a decision you'll only need to make once. They're the most durable material available, paired with the most advanced installation techniques by our certified installers.
What if something does happen? What is the warranty on the Infinity windows?
Infinity from Marvin carries a limited lifetime warranty, backed by Marvin, who's been in the business for over 100 years. We also include a lifetime service warranty, which means if you ever have a problem with a window or door, we'll fix it for free.
Do you have to replace a minimum quantity of windows at one time?
Absolutely not. Unlike our competitors, we'll replace as many or as few windows as you like at one time.
So what type of special offers are you running this month?
We have some big discounts available right now. Please visit the special section of our website for more info. We've also partnered with some financing companies for flexible payment options to help make our windows and doors more affordable.
Right now at North Georgia Replacement Windows, it's time for stars, stripes, and special savings. You'll save up to 20% off your entire project, plus up to 12 months no interest, no payments. That's right, up to 20% off your entire project, plus a special financing offer, up to 12 months no interest, no payments. Visit our beautiful new showroom in Alpharetta and check out all the details on these special offers at ngwindows.com. ngwindows.com.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 9:30. Good morning. I'm Graham Carroll. This news brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, black smoke rising from the Vatican chimney again this morning.
Kind of underwhelmed. I feel like I expected it. I was expecting the black smoke.
The first votes of day two of the conclave have concluded without a new pope being selected, but papal biographer Austin Ivory says we could very well see white smoke from that chimney later today.
The last two conclaves, the pope has been elected in the afternoon of this second day, not in the morning. So this is now, we've had 3 votes, including the one yesterday, 2 this morning. By now, I'm going to guess that there are clear frontrunners, probably only 2, maybe 3 at most.
2/3 of the cardinals have to agree on the new pope, and when they do, white smoke will pour from the chimney, accompanied by the ringing of bells. New this morning, Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter entering the 2026 Senate race against Democratic incumbent Jon Ossoff. He is the first Republican to jump into the race since Governor Kemp announced last week he would pass on a Senate bid. Carter calls himself a MAGA warrior. He represents Georgia's 1st congressional district. President Trump is characterizing a new trade agreement reached with the United Kingdom as full and comprehensive. The president taking to Truth Social to announce the deal this morning. Correspondent Mary Bruce says the UK isn't the only country Trump is talking to.
President Trump set to announce a new trade agreement with the UK, the first agreement since the president imposed and then paused sweeping tariffs on dozens of trading partners last month. Chinese and U.S. officials set to meet this weekend in Switzerland.
In his Truth Social post, he also hinted at several other deals that are in serious stages of negotiations, but he did not identify any of those potential trade partners. The stock market is responding positively to the potential deals. Stock futures were all trending up ahead of this morning's opening bell. The Fulton County Board of Commissioners approves stopgap funds for detention officers overtime at the county jail.
The resolution by Fulton County Commissioner Bob Ellis allots $1.7 million quarterly for jail overtime pay, while pointedly alleging the sheriff's office is causing safety and security issues.
Given the hiring and the retention stuff, the issues that we have seen and the operational and supervisory issues that we've seen.
Commissioner Marvin Arrington is one lawmaker who says he supports the amount but objects to the language.
We wind up digging a hole for ourselves because even if we point the finger at the other person, we still have to write the check. So I don't know if you'll take that, accept it as a friendly amendment or not.
I cannot.
The one-time funding will be till year's end. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Additional relief is on the way for Georgia's agriculture industry, hit hard by Hurricane Helene last fall. Governor Kemp will be joined by Ag Secretary Tyler Harper for a signing ceremony today in Forsyth on a bill that provides much-needed funding. When the House considered allocating more resources, State Representative Matt Hatchett told colleagues the needs are widespread.
There are many blue tarps
still keeping rain out of people's homes and what's left of them.
Helene caused over $5.5 billion in damage statewide, destroying crops and homes and killing 34 people in Georgia. It is 9:33, time for a check of traffic and weather together. Mike Shields live in the 24-hour traffic center.
And Graham watching a crash in northwest Atlanta, 75 northbound, right at West Paces Ferry Road. Had the HOV lane blocked, a vehicle facing the wrong way. I expect multiple left lanes to be blocked with that. And as I speak now, 3 left lanes blocked. 75 northbound, West Paces Ferry, exit 255. Use Highway 41 Northside Parkway as an alternate on that. Crash on the south side, 75 southbound before Terra Boulevard, exit 235. That's in a center lane. Delays are stretching back to 285. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly to mostly cloudy today with scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms, high 81. Lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated rain shower possible, high near 80. Saturday, mostly cloudy, breezy and cool, high 67.
It is 67 degrees in Holly Springs, 65 degrees in Lovejoy, and 66 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10 o'clock, breaking news when it happens. I'm Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Friday, starting at 5 a.m. for Atlanta's Morning News, you'll hear whether there is still more rain in the forecast for Mother's Day weekend. We'll have the latest from the Vatican, in depth on that major trade announcement from the White House. We'll talk to CBS's Nancy Cordes, who was there, and why Clark Howard says our economic pain at the moment might actually make it a good time to take a vacation. We'll get you ready for the day and the weekend on 95.5 WSB.
I really want to see who comes out on the balcony, so I'll be back later this evening, and hopefully Pope is
Who will come out on the balcony, and when we're going to see the white smoke? Still to come. We'll go live to Rome. Check the latest on Conclave. But next, new life expectancy data for the United States. Is it good or bad news? We'll tell you next on The Mark Arum Show.
Guys, all she wants this Mother's Day is to be pampered at Spa Sidel. Book a special Mother's Day package or give her a gift card and let her choose. For every $150 spent in gift cards, get a $50 bonus card. Locations, Buckhead, Perimeter, and Alpharetta, or visit SpaSidel.com to purchase.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Well, is it me, or does it feel like school just started yesterday? Crazy, right? And with summer right around the corner, now's the time to clean up the wear and tear this past 9 months with help from the experts at Zero Res. I mean, if you stop and think about all the places your kids' shoes walk on a typical school day, then bring into your house, that is so gross. I say it all the time because it's true. A clean home is a healthy home, and Zero Res removes all that school yuck without harsh soaps, detergents, or chemicals. Not only is it healthier for your home and family, it keeps your carpets cleaner too, longer. How? Well, with ZR water technology. When you don't have all that dirt-attracting soap residue hanging around, you get to enjoy soft, fluffy carpets that stay that way. And right now, you can save with their May special. That's 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. Mention me, Chris Chandler, to secure this deal today. Book online at ZeroResAtlanta.com and ask about Zero Res commercial cleaning too. Zero Res, all they leave is clean.
The forces of Germany have surrendered to the United Nations. The flags of freedom fly all over Europe.
80 years ago today, folks heard that on WSB Radio. That was President Truman talking about VE Day, Victory in Europe Day, the end of World War II in Europe. The surrender documents Germany had signed a day earlier took effect. That was 80 years ago today, May 8th in 1945. So VE Day. Happy anniversary for VE Day. Victory in Europe Day. And I think, Deborah, that President Trump is going to make this day a national holiday, right? Wasn't that...
I think he's trying to switch up some of the holidays or add more holidays.
Yeah, so this could be a future federal holiday, May 8th, which means you can't go to the bank and you get no mail. And maybe you may or may not get trash service. I'm still not sure if trash pickup occurs on federal holidays. Vinny can find out that for us. I'm just giving Vinny busy work throughout the day here today. He's been up since 2 in the morning. He was training on Atlanta's Morning News. I'm just going to keep peppering him with tasks to keep him awake. All right, coming up at 10:12, we're going to go live to Rome. Sabina Castelfranco from CBS with the latest on Conclave. And then right after that, 10:18, another keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. So make sure you stay with us till then. But if you have to dip out of the car, come back around 10:18. We'll give you another keyword and a chance for you to win $1,000 in the 5K a day bonus blitz. All right, joining us from ABC News, our buddy Jim Ryan. Jim, good morning. Atlanta's own CDC releasing life expectancy numbers here in the United States of America. Numbers going up or numbers going down?
Well, it's going up, and certainly going up since the pandemic, where, during that period, Mark, we saw numbers slip a bit, life expectancy falling off because so many people were succumbing to COVID-19 during the pandemic. But the numbers have begun to rise again. Good news, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And, of course, the state where the CDC is based, life expectancy for 2025, the estimate, is 74.53 years. And that's a 0.19% increase from 2024. So numbers are starting to come back up, not just in Georgia, but around the country generally.
That number you said for Georgia, that's both men and women, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Do we still see
that combines the two? But there's still this breakdown, though. You're right, between what men, the life expectancy of men and that of women. Women generally are still living a few years longer than men, for a lot of reasons. But there are regional differences as well. And if you look at southern states versus northern states, east versus west, you'll see kind of a dramatic change of variability in how long people can expect to live, Mark.
Interesting. Now, I am sure my southern diet isn't helping matters when it comes to life expectancy. But if you look at the nation as a whole, where are folks living longer?
Well, in the West. That's kind of where the map is showing that people do have the longest life expectancy. But you're right. And everybody I've talked to this morning who is in the South, in Kentucky, for example, and in Florida, that's the first thing that springs to mind is the Southern diet. A lot of fried food that we here in the South, I'm in Texas, that we like to enjoy. And unfortunately, the leading cause of death remains heart disease, and diet plays a part in that. Coming in behind that is cancer. Those two have been the leading two for some time now, Mark.
Jim Ryan from ABC joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. The CDC obviously just focusing on the United States life expectancy, and again, getting better post-pandemic. I don't know if you can answer this, Jim, but how do we fit into the international numbers, right? Because I know there are a lot of developed nations that historically have had longer life expectancy than the United States. I'm thinking about Japan, for example, where their life expectancy is through the roof compared to us.
Well, it is. The Japanese, people living in Scandinavian countries have longer life expectancies too. And some of that may have to do with health policies and availability of health care in those places as well. But you're right. But still, the United States stacks up quite nicely with the world's population in terms of life expectancy. Our expectancy at birth right now is 78.4 years for the U.S. total population. That's almost a year more than in 2022. So the number is going up again.
And here in Georgia, again, it was 74.9?
Yes, 74.9 years.
All right. I know someone listening is celebrating their 75th birthday, so happy birthday. And you beat the odds here in Georgia.
Right. Well, it's just an average. And some folks in Georgia can live to 100 or 105 as they can elsewhere. So, take the numbers with maybe not with a grain of salt, but because, people can beat these odds, and especially with something like heart disease, the leading cause of death. There are things that about 80% of those cases are preventable. You can do something about it, Mark.
Yeah, I always recommend listening to the show while on the treadmill. Jim Ryan, ABC News. Fascinating stuff as always, Jim. Thank you.
Take care.
Just out of curiosity, all right, again, so in Georgia, life expectancy, combined male and female, 74.9 years old, which is lower than the national average. So I had Vinny do some research, Deborah. Back in 1900, the life expectancy in the United States was 49.3 years of age.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? If you made it to 50 in 1900, you beat the odds. That's remarkable. And I'm Vinny, I wanted you to go back to the 1500s, the Middle Ages, see if you can find the numbers there. Because I've often argued we are so blessed to be alive right now where we are. I know we all have our issues, right? Our struggles, our concerns, our ulcers. Life can be overwhelming sometimes. But do you know how lucky we are to, A, be living in the United States of America in the 21st century? We have it so much better than our ancestors. You're probably going to live to at least 75. Just in 1949. We've won life lottery. We have won life's lottery. No one ever in the history of mankind has had it better than we have it right now. And I often ask this question, would you rather be a middle-class United States citizen in 2025 or a king of a European nation in the 1300s? What would you rather be, Longoria? Middle class in 2025 or a king of a European country?
When you're a king, you got everything, no?
Yeah, but you got everything for how long? 28 years?
Yeah,
and then you're done?
And then you're done.
No bathrooms? No running water?
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of spoiled. We're not kind of spoiled. We are spoiled.
Yeah, we are.
Although I bet the king, let's say King of England at 1300, he could get his daughter $30 instead of just two.
Just two. That's all you need, though.
That's all you need. That's all. Anyway, Vinny, did you find those numbers yet? 1,500 life expectancy. I bet if it was 49 in 1900, it's got to be like 35.
Yeah, it was like 30 to 33.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so lucky. We're living life. We're living our best lives. We've won the life lottery. Think about that today. At your lowest moment today, be like, wow, at least I'm blessed enough to be in America in 2025. Where I don't have to worry about smallpox. I don't have to worry about measles. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. In Texas, you do.
Never mind. I take that back. All right, again, 10-12, we're going to Conclave. Check out the latest on the papal negotiations, the papal voting going on. This is an interesting story. When the Pope's elected, we're first going to see the white smoke, and then we'll hear bells from churches all over Rome sounding in unison. Dang, I would like to see that firsthand. A man named Giacomo will make it happen. CBS's Maurice Dubois in Rome has his story.
Giacomo Diano is a campanaro. At 38 years old, he's keeping alive the ancient art of bell ringing.
You do it why? It's a heavenly job. A heavenly job. Yes.
Calling the faithful to prayer and heralding milestones. Over the years, he's climbed 109 bell towers in Rome. Diano has programmed the bells to accompany that announcement of great joy, the election of a pope. The next time you hear this song, there will be a new pope. And Giacomo Diano's music will have a familiar ring.
Maurice Dubois, CBS News.
That's kind of badass that all the church bells in Rome are going to ring in unison. That the logistical effort behind that. Good for Giacomo, the bell master of Rome, Italy. All right, so again, we've already had a couple of votes, just black smoke from the chimney at the Vatican. When we see the white smoke and hear the bells in unison, we'll have an ex-pope. The next pope, Deborah, I should know this, but I don't. Does the pope get a salary?
Yeah, you ever wonder how much the head of the Catholic Church actually makes?
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't get a traditional salary.
Okay.
In fact, the Vatican provides everything that the Pope could need, where to live, transportation, food, any other daily allowances that he might need. But the Vatican obviously gets a lot of donations from people that visit.
Sure.
Catholics have funds that go to it. Private enterprises will donate. They make investments there and that is how the Pope has money to spend. They've never revealed the numbers specifically that they let him spend, but Pope Francis once commented that the role was voluntary and he wasn't there for money.
What does the Pope have to buy, though? Right,
well,
kind of
I'm
like
sure he was hungry. Like he can't just eat wafers all day.
That'd be a high carb diet.
Could you imagine living in Italy and then not having the food there?
I'm making a broad assumption here, but I'm pretty sure that the Pope has a personal chef at the Vatican, right?
I bet Francis did not have a personal chef. He
No,
just doesn't, you know.
no way. They have to. They have to. Food's got to be provided for the Pope. It's not like he's got to wake up at 5 in the morning and go, I'm going to go to Waffle House. Right?
Or go to Publix to go shopping. Like, I got to go shopping.
No,
today.
they got to bring him food. No way he's on his own. Imagine the Pope taking the Pope-mobile to Kroger. He's like, I got to do my grocery shopping.
I just don't think the Pope has that Diet Coke button on his desk.
No,
you know, it's
no.
right there at the altar, and he pushes it.
And I'm not
when
saying
he's
having, lobster thermidor. I'm not saying he's, eating extravagantly, but the Pope doesn't have to, or the next Pope, they're not going to have to fend for their own when it comes to meals. Because they can't leave the Vatican and just walk down and get a slice willy-nilly down, at a pizzeria.
Francis was known for sneaking out and like going and doing stuff with regular common people, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's the Pope," and he would be like, "Oh, I'm just a normal person."
All right, Vinny, you're gonna have to find out that. I've given Vinny more work. I don't think he's. I mean, I like Francis, the voluntary job. You've been selected by your peers and by God. But he shouldn't have to worry about food or clothing or, I have a Pope clothing story I want to share with you later. But he's got to eat for free. If not, I'm taking my hat out of the ring. If it's not free food, I don't want to be the Pope.
I'm sure he makes a list, right, and gives it to him.
Yeah,
this is what I want for the week.
It's like with the president. Although with the president, though, I found this out. So the president, obviously, similar situation. President Trump, President Biden can't leave the house and go grocery shopping. Right, it'd be a nightmare. So they have food, but they have to pay the food bill. So Melania or Barron or President Trump, they write out a grocery list, or they'll say, "Hey, I want beef Wellington for dinner tonight," or "I want buy one get one Whoppers," whatever. They submit.
I don't think they eat Whoppers.
Well, no, listen, President Trump does.
Oh,
for sure.
yeah. Melania.
The thing I have most in common with the president is our love of fast food, for sure. So they submit what they want to eat, but I'm found out that the first family has to pay the food bill. Not for like state dinners or anything, I don't think, but like just day-to-day eating. Like President Trump wants a Diet Coke. They put it on his tab. He's got to pay it. Anyway, Vinny's going to find out if the Pope eats for free. He's got to eat for free. If not, we're going to send him the never-ending pasta pass from...
Imagine how offensive that would be, the Olive Garden pasta pass in Rome.
No, I think the Pope would have been grateful. Pope Francis was like, "Oh, bless you, child. Bless you,
He'd
child."
give it away.
I forgot, by the way. It's too soon yet. I did a Pope Francis imitation a couple years ago. Is that too soon to bring that back? Yeah, it feels too soon.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Anyway, when we come back, I have an update on, speaking of fast food, McDonald's going to tinker with their glorious French fries. We'll tell you about that, and the ongoing price hikes in World Cup tickets. How much it's going to cost to see the World Cup here in Atlanta. We'll tell you that next after we check the drive around town. Live with the latest, Mike Shields.
Yeah, frustration in Northwest Atlanta, Mark, with a crash 75 northbound right at West Paces Ferry Road exit 255. It was in the left lanes. They held all lanes, moved it to the right shoulder, and then right in the backup as they started to release lanes, and another couple cars ran into each other. So now the HOV lane blocked again with a second crash, 75 northbound West Paces Ferry, and a crash on the south side just moved to the right shoulder, 75 southbound before Terra Boulevard. The support is brought to you by Compassion International. Thousands of kids in poverty have waited over a year for its sponsor. In their wait today, become a Compassion sponsor. Text radio to 83393. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
The Papal Conclave is underway.
133 cardinal electors, the most of any conclave.
What does it mean for over 1 billion Catholics worldwide and Catholics here in Atlanta?
We're going to be looking way over there for the smoke.
For breaking news, the details, and what it all means to you, stay with 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
I hate getting stuck in Atlanta traffic almost as much as I hate overdraft fees. Hey, it's Smilin' Mark McKay. Your checking account should help you with day-to-day expenses and not charge you fees. A Chime checking account allows you to manage your money better. I've overdrafted my account. I was in a jam and I was embarrassed. With Chime, you have peace of mind. Chime covers members up to $200 with zero fees. Visit Chime.com and get started with a qualifying direct deposit. Had an overdraft? Don't worry or be ashamed. Chime has spotted members over $32 billion. Move toward a better financial future with Chime. Open a Chime checking account in 2 minutes. Get started today at Chime.com. Chime feels like progress.
Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank, N.A. or Stride Bank, N.A. Members FDIC. MyPay line of credit provided by the Bancorp, N.A. or Stride Bank, N.A. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. MyPay eligibility requirements apply. Not available in all states. Credit limits range from $20 to $500. $2 fee applies to get funds instantly. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal or OTC advance fees may apply. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are conquering the unconquerable. Our experts are leading the way with innovative regenerative medicines and biotherapeutics that can repair diseased, injured, or defective tissues and organs to help treat people with chronic medical conditions. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
Is your heating and cooling system so old you can't remember when it was installed? If so, it's time to get protection from Reliable Heating and Air. Hey friends, it's Mark Arum. Check this out. Let Reliable Heating and Air protect your AC from breakdowns and your budget. Just $14.99 a month. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. No deductibles, no claims or paperwork, no service fees, just coverage for your aging AC and heating systems. Get all the information you need online at reliableair.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, USDA Choice Boneless New York Strip Steaks are only $9.99 a pound in the family pack with your digital coupon. Limit 5. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Our weather can be crazy. Dry for days and drenched with storms. Extreme heat to bitter cold, and your roof takes all the abuse. Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. If your roof has problems, it may be showing you signs. Inside, look for wet spots on the ceiling or walls. Outside, check for streaks and stains or granules in the ground. If you find these, think of Findlay first. The perfect match for any roofing issues, and they offer 0% financing. Schedule your free roof analysis at findlayroofing.com. Roof.
Jason Hansen, former CIA officer here, with an urgent warning. The 2025 tariffs are a matter of national security, and retaliation can become an extreme national threat. Every American with a 401k, IRA, or retirement account should act now before it's too late. I urge everyone to protect and secure their hard-earned money with physical gold and silver before we see massive retaliations from China and an extreme market of volatility. I only trust Advantage Gold with my money. They're the #1 precious metals company in America, and they can help you secure your retirement with physical gold and silver. To get started, just call 800-324-9902 and request their free gold investment guide and learn how you can own physical gold and silver, tax-free and penalty-free. But don't wait. This threat is real. Call 800-324-9902. Now again, that's 800-324-9902. Call right now and get your free gold investment guide today, or visit AdvantageGold.com. Past performance may vary. Always consult with a tax and financial professional.
9:55 of the Mark Arum Show. Don't forget, right after the 10 o'clock news, in that segment after it, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus splits. Another chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. Some breaking papal news. It's not about the election of the Pope. It's about how the Pope eats. Vinny, back me up here. I didn't think the Pope paid for food. Who's paying for the Pope's meals?
The Pope is getting paid by the Roman Catholic Church. They cover all the expenses of food.
There you go.
Yes.
See, Deborah.
Donations.
Yeah, the church pays for his food.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a Apple Pay, and he's out, buying food. Although, if the Pope or the new Pope is a fan of McDonald's, they might find this next story shocking. To me, the best fast food fries in the world, hands down, are McDonald's. They're offering a new fry. They're tinkering with their classic fry. What's the story, Deborah?
Yeah, I've heard that McDonald's are the best fries of the fast food
Yes.
fries, but they are changing up the game just a little bit. They're introducing a new style of fries. It is the potato wedge. Now, right now, they're only being tested in a couple of stores. I can't find one around here, and I don't know if it's going to be available nationwide yet. So it's just a test. But
All right.
What do you think of McDonald's wedge, basically?
I like a wedge, but why, if you're doing something to perfection, why? I mean, I'm glad they're not changing. We're still going to be able to get the regular Golden Arch fries, but Why even bother? Why waste your time? Who's going to choose potato wedges over the best French fry in the fast food business? I do like a wedge, though. I like all potatoes.
KFC have a wedge?
Yeah, they've got a bunch.
Yeah.
The KFC mashed potatoes are. Maya made homemade mashed potatoes yesterday. Oh my goodness! I've got mashed potatoes left over. I've got sloppy joes left over. I'm gonna make like a bush league shepherd's pie when I get home today for lunch, while I'm awaiting the white smoke at the Vatican. Speaking of the Vatican, after news, weather, and traffic, go live to Rome, get the latest on Conclave, and another keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. You, my friend, could win $1,000 next half hour on the Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Just to give you a little insight on how my crazy mind works, I was reading an article that said there could be up to 100 yet to be discovered tribes in the Amazon jungle. 100 of them. Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my friends at Xfinity. So I was reading that. I was like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of that movie, Apocalypto. I haven't seen that movie in a while. I want to watch that movie. So what did I do? I picked up my remote, my Xfinity voice remote, and I just pressed the button and said, Apocalypto. Bam! Xfinity offered me all the ways I could watch that movie. I'll tell you what, my mind wanders, but it's always there and caught by my Xfinity voice remote. No matter what I want to watch, the Xfinity voice remote helps me get there without hunting and pecking. Could be Apocalypto, could be a sitcom from the 80s. Xfinity is always there when I need them, and they'll be there for you as well. Jump on board the Xfinity family. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or even better yet, go see the friendly faces at your Xfinity store near you today.
Turn your backyard into your family's favorite hangout to have fun, entertain, and celebrate the summer in a Bullfrog hot tub from Brown's Pools and Spas. Only Bullfrog offers the Jetpack Therapy system, allowing you to customize each seat to fit every body in your family. Right now, shop the Memorial Day hot tub sale. Instant rebates up to $2,500 or a free audio upgrade on select models. Hurry, offer ends May 27th. You'll be so glad you went to Brown's Pools and Spas. BrownsPools.com.
Mother's Day is coming up. Give that special mom the gift of relaxation from Spa Sidel. For all that mom does, she deserves to be pampered at Spa Sidel. Get a $50 bonus card with $150 spending cards. Locations in Buckhead, Perimeter, and Alpharetta, or visit Spa Sidel to purchase.
Your home deserves to shine inside and outside. That's why I trust Wise Guys Pro Wash to keep my home and deck and driveway looking their best. So just mention me, Chris Chandler, and get $70 off your next service. Don't wait. The appointment's booked quick. Go to wiseguysprowash.com.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 10 o'clock, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our top story, black smoke again pours out of the Sistine Chapel chimney this morning, indicating no pope has been elected on the second or third rounds of the conclave. More votes are expected to get underway this hour.
Of course, the Italians want to see an Italian, but we saw American flags, too, in St. Peter's Square, which is really interesting. And there's one candidate that many people have been talking about, a cardinal from Chicago, Robert Prevost, who is a Vatican insider, so that would be quite amazing to see.
Mary Calvi reports the next pope must secure the necessary 2/3 majority, which is about 89 votes. It is 66 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. Another cloudy day today. Some pop-up showers around the metro, too. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Well, happening now, the White House expected to announce this hour a trade deal with the UK that'll lower the burden of U.S. tariffs. President Trump says the deal will, quote, cement the relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom for many years to come, end quote. Trump has placed a 10% tax on imports from Britain, as well as 25% tariffs on autos, steel, and aluminum. First-time unemployment claims were down last week. The Labor Department saying it received 228,000 initial claims in the week ending this past Saturday. That's a drop of 13,000 from the previous week's revised total and basically falls where most analysts were expecting. Some stopgap funds are approved for detention officers overtime at the Fulton County Jail.
The resolution by Fulton County Commissioner Bob Ellis allots $1.7 million quarterly for jail overtime pay, while pointedly alleging the sheriff's office is causing safety and security issues.
Given the hiring and the retention stuff, the issues that we have seen and the operational and supervisory issues that we've seen.
Commissioner Marvin Arrington is one lawmaker who says he supports the amount but objects to the language.
We wind up digging a hole for ourselves because even if we point the finger at the other person, we still have to write the check. So I don't know if you'll take that, accept it as a friendly amendment or not.
I cannot.
The one-time funding will be till year's end. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
The creation of a new police force in Gwinnett County is the focus of a community meeting happening tonight. Peachtree Corners manager Brian Johnson will release the findings of a study on whether a city-operated police department is feasible.
This is the beginning of a community dialogue period, and it will not be till late 2025 till council makes a decision. So tonight is really that kickoff.
The city's leased police services from Gwinnett County since it was first incorporated 13 years ago. Tonight's meeting's at 7 at Christ the King Lutheran Church on Peachtree Parkway. You can also view it online on the city's website. A federal judge tosses out most claims against Atlanta-based Delta Airlines in a proposed class action stemming from a massive outage last summer.
Groups of domestic and international flyers sued. They alleged in the proposed class action that Delta did not do an adequate job of making up for widespread flight delays and cancellations triggered by a software update from CrowdStrike. But a federal judge has ruled that many of the claims were preempted by the Airline Deregulation Act. The judge did allow a breach of contract claim to move forward. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
It is 10:03. The Mark Aram Show continues in less than 2 minutes, but first we've got live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca's live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, Austin, some better news out of northwest Atlanta. The earlier crashes, there were two of them. 75 north near West Paces Ferry have been cleared to the shoulder. No more delays. Busy interchange in Clayton County. I-75 and 285 backed up in all directions. We've had road work 75 northbound on the ramp to 285 west, and there's also something jamming up 285 eastbound, the outer loop trying to exit onto 75 south, and delays persist through Lawrenceville with roadwork in the right lane, 316 eastbound at High Hope. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly to mostly cloudy today with scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms, high 81, lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated rain shower possible, high near 80. Saturday, mostly cloudy, breezy and cool, high 67.
Right now it's 67 degrees in Sandy Springs, also 67 degrees in College Park, and 66 in Midtown Atlanta. More news at 10:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Thursday morning to you. Mark Aram here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Aram Show live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The whole family with us today. Deborah is the executive producer of the show. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your calls coming up in 7 minutes. We're going to go live to Rome. Sabina Castellafranco from CBS, the latest on Conclave and the Pope at 10:18. So just 13 minutes from now, I'm going to give you another keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz, another chance for you to win $1,000 here on WSB Radio. And at 10:35, travel expert Peter Greenberg's going to join us live talking about the nightmare that is the Newark Airport and what you need to know about Real ID. I just got an Instagram message from Jean, Deborah. She says the Pope indeed has several chefs at his beck and call at the Vatican.
I'm sure he does. I'm just telling you, Francis was known for cooking for himself.
Oh, he did it himself. Oh, all right. He made a nice cheese omelet or something?
Maybe.
Some porridge?
Porridge?
Well, I think,
Probably authentic Argentinian food,
Oh, okay. But I don't think he was like a flamboyant eater. Like he didn't want shrimp fettuccine Alfredo with, Anyway. We'll continue on. I'm going to ask Sabina. She's joining us. We'll ask about the Pope's diet and what's going on. So any second now, we're expected to get a special announcement. This is news we broke last hour for you. President Trump announced on social media a big, beautiful trade deal with the United Kingdom. The first, and he, made a point to say that there's a reason why the United Kingdom, England, will be the first trade deal announced. a nod to our long shared history. Kristen Holmes from CNN is just outside the White House on what we might expect from this deal.
Well, Wolf, it depends on what you mean by the word significant. Do you mean significant in terms of an actual trade deal or just the fact that there is a deal at all? Because what we are hearing right now is that this deal between the two countries is not actually going to be what majorly significant. For example, we've heard it's limited in scope, that it is heavy on future commitments. But it is a big deal in the sense that Donald Trump and his administration have been touting for weeks now that they were going to get a trade deal. And in fact, when I talk to administration officials and allies of the president, they seem somewhat desperate to get a trade deal on the table to show that the economy was moving forward. So here's what Donald Trump says about the agreement between the two countries. He says, the agreement with the United Kingdom is a full and comprehensive one that will cement the relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom for many years to come. Because of our longtime history and allegiance together, it is a great honor to have the United Kingdom as our first announcement. Many other deals which are in serious stages of negotiation to follow. But again, he says full and comprehensive, sources telling Phil Mattingly that it's limited in scope and heavy on future commitments. And in fact, Trump's own Secretary of Agriculture seemed to say the same. Take a listen to what she said about the deal.
Again, more details coming. It is an agreement in concept. There's a lot of details to be worked out.
It is a concept. We've heard that before. But again, a lot of this is all about the messaging. We had gotten to a place where Trump actually seemed to be backpedaling away from this idea of trade deals earlier in the week. They were looking for any kind of win, and you can guarantee that he and the administration will be celebrating this, despite whether or not it is just heavy on future commitments.
Kristen Holmes moments ago outside the White House. So again, we don't know exactly what's in this trade deal. It should be announced shortly. We will let you know. This just popped up, breaking news. I mentioned earlier last hour, we're going to keep an eye on what's going on with India and Pakistan. This just broke. Pakistan says it's killed 40 to 50 Indian soldiers in Kashmir. So obviously a very important story we're going to monitor there. But back to the trade deal. We expect the announcement coming from the president at any time. But as Kristen mentioned there, it's going to be heavy on future commitments. Now, it's important because it's the first. It's important because it's an ally. But in the overall scheme of things, again, only 3% of our overall trade is between the United States and the United Kingdom. But it's a good first domino to fall. And might we see trade deals following that with the European Union, with India, with Vietnam, some of our other bigger trading partners. So as soon as the president announces the trade deal, we'll bring it to you live here on WSB. Deborah, is the United Kingdom, England, did they qualify for the World Cup, or is qualifying not happening yet?
Qualifying is happening all over.
Okay.
So, yeah, we don't know the final teams yet.
Now, it's not a United Kingdom team, right? There's an Irish team and an English team.
So England will play independently. Like, England will be eligible, Wales will be eligible.
Gotcha.
They'll all be independent, yeah.
All right. And again, we're about to become Football Central, Soccer Central. We're going to be hosting some amazing World Cup stuff here. Ticket prices, though. I mentioned when we were talking to, I forgot who we were talking to. I said, the mayor of Decatur yesterday was on the show live. And Decatur's doing a watch party for the World Cup because I said off the cuff, I can't afford tickets to see the World Cup. But I was not wrong. I can't afford these tickets. How expensive are World Cup tickets?
All right, I literally just canceled a vacation because I'm going to buy World Cup tickets if I can do anything about it. But FIFA released their first packages. Now, these aren't individual tickets. They're packages for the games. But the cheapest option right now is $5,300 per person. That's for one package. And then they go all the way up to $73,000. And these are different things from, like, you can follow your team. So say the USA makes it, you can say follow my team, and you'll be guaranteed all the tickets for the USA matches. Or it could just be the ones here in Atlanta, or it could be just the Final Four. So there's different options there. Tickets aren't officially on sale till next year, and those prices are going to vary by venue as well.
Wow. So do you want to follow your team, or do you you're looking
for
tickets
no.
in Atlanta?
I just want one match here in the city. That's it. I mean, when it comes to team, I'm like, oh yeah, USA, of course. But if USA is not in it, then I'm like, go Mexico, go England, so it depends.
Well, I don't know, but I think we can. If you just want to go to one match here in Atlanta, we can make that happen. I'm
hoping. I'll go by myself. When it said $5,300 a person, I'm like, if I go by myself, eat anything, walk, like I can do it.
Don't cancel your vacation. You need a vacation.
I already did.
Oh no.
Yeah, I already did.
Because I think at least we'll start a GoFundMe here at the station. You're beloved here at WSB Radio. We can get you in. Or instead of getting Chris Crawford the press credentials, we'll get you the press credentials. So you don't have to pay a thing.
Oh, gosh. I think he'll fight me for that.
That's all right. That's all right.
I'll get into one game. I'll figure it out somehow.
All right. So that's stark, though.
Yeah. So I'll see you at those watch parties in Decatur.
Real quick, again, I'm not going to judge. I once spent $10,000 when I was single for a Super Bowl ticket to see the Giants and the Patriots in Arizona. Now, that included airfare and hotel, but it was $10,000. So I'm not going to judge how much you spent. All right. Thanks, Deborah. $73,000 for a World Cup ticket package. All right. Continuing our team coverage of Conclave, joining us live again from Rome, Italy, CBS News correspondent Sabina Castellafranca. Sabina, good morning again. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And sun is shining, and we're waiting for the white smoke.
So no white smoke yet. Let's start with that. How many votes have the Cardinals already cast?
They've already cast 3 votes, 1 yesterday and 2 this morning. And now they have just walked into the Sistine Chapel again and are about to cast their 4th ballot. So we will be watching the Sistine Chapel chimney for possible smoke, white smoke. But if there is no smoke, we're going to have to wait till the next ballot today. And then at the end of that, we'll see whether there is white or black smoke, which will indicate whether consensus has been reached by the 133 cardinals that are inside the Sistine Chapel, or whether there will be more voting tomorrow.
Sabina, does the Vatican ever reveal the vote totals? Like, so on the first vote, do they say this is who was in the lead, or we don't get that information?
We don't get that information, unfortunately, but I'd love it.
What about after the Pope is selected? Did they release it then?
They don't release it,
okay.
but somehow a few days afterwards, slowly things start coming out. There are some leaks after the new Pope is, in fact, elected.
Interesting. So historically, how many votes does it usually take before the new Pope is selected?
Well, in the past 2 conclaves, it took 5 votes for Pope Francis and 4 votes for Pope Benedict. So both Pope Francis and Pope Benedict got elected in the second day of voting, which is today. However, having said that, this is the conclave with the largest number of cardinal electors. So they've never exceeded 120. In fact, it's always been under 120. And this time there are 133. Many of them, 80% of them, were appointed by Pope Francis, so have never been in a conclave. So they don't really know what's going on in there. They just don't have the experience. Many of them come from remote parts of the world, have never met each other. They've had very little time to get to know each other. So I would not be surprised if we went, beyond the 5 votes that it took, Pope Francis to become, the head of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, 80 new cardinals. That's a big number. So they're just getting their feet wet, getting used to this. And you mentioned they're from all over the world. There's no,
not 80 new cardinals. 80% were appointed, by Pope Francis.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, they're from all over the world. Do they all speak Latin, or is it going to be some sort of a language barrier between cardinals?
There is also a language barrier, of course, because not all of them speak the same language.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them, come from Africa. Some of them.
Oh, Sabina, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we just lost you for a second.
I was just saying, there is a language barrier because some of them come from Africa, some of them come from Asia, not all of them speak the same language. I mean, cardinals are well-read individuals and culturally prepared, but, some speak 5 languages and others speak 2. So not all of them have a common language. And really, they need to get to know each other. They're also of different ages. They come from, different backgrounds, have different experiences. So, it does require time, and they may not reach a consensus that quickly.
What's the mood in Rome right now from the Catholics gathered to watch this? Are they still excited? Are they getting antsy now, waiting for the white smoke to come out?
No, I think they're very excited. There's a lot of anticipation. There's thousands of people in St. Peter's Square for this. The weather helps, of course, because it's a beautiful sunny day. A few clouds here and there, but it's lovely to be out and about, and the people are happy to come to St. Peter's Square to watch the smoke come out of the chimney. So, yes, there is a lot of excitement in the air. People want to know who's going to come next after Pope Francis. Is it going to be someone who thinks in a similar way to him and is going to continue the reforms that he started? Or is it going to be someone who's going to take the church in a different direction? So these are some of the questions that, people are asking themselves. Of course, all of them want, someone who's going to bring the church together, unify, and bring peace to the world. I mean, that is on everybody's mouth.
Sabina, if the conclave lasts until the weekend, will the Cardinals still vote on Saturday and Sunday, or do they take off?
Well, normally after 3 days, they take a break. It's normally after 10 votes. So it could happen that if no pope is elected by the end of Friday, there may be one vote on Saturday, and then they would take a break on Sunday and probably resume on Monday. But, they could also decide not to vote on Saturday at all and resume voting on Sunday. So we shall see how things develop.
Final quick question. We had a discussion last segment on who feeds the Pope. Does the Pope get free food in the Vatican?
Of course, there are kitchens in the Vatican. The Pope was fed at Santa Marta residence where the cardinals stay, and they are all having their lunch and dinner.
Yeah, we lost her. Sabina Castellafranco, CBS in Rome, very jealous of that assignment, updating Conclave. And don't worry, the next Pope will be well-fed. And you're going to be well-fed if you win $1,000 right now. That's right, it's the 5K a day bonus blitz, friends. 10 a.m. keyword is Thursday. Thursday, Thursday, Thursday. Enter the keyword Thursday into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is Thursday. And don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:30 from a number you don't recognize, answer it. Could be us telling you won $1,000. 10 a.m. 5K day bonus blitz. Keyword is Thursday. Thursday, Thursday. Good luck. Let's head to the traffic center now, checking the Thursday morning drive. What can you tell us, Ashley Frasca?
Watching some delays through both interchanges, both sides of town. I-75 and 285 will start in Cobb County, getting a little crowded on 285 westbound, crossing the Chattahoochee River, trying to ramp onto I-75 there near the ballpark. And down in Clayton County, that's construction delays. Has you slow 75 north. They're working on the ramp to 285 west. Traffic brought to you by the Scott Antique Markets is this weekend. There's no telling what you'll find. Visit the Atlanta Expo Centers at 285 and Jonesboro Road, ScottAntiqueMarket.com. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
The Papal Conclave is underway.
133 cardinal electors, the most of any conclave.
What does it mean for over 1 billion Catholics worldwide and Catholics here in Atlanta?
We're going to be looking way over there for the smoke.
For breaking news, the details, and what it all means to you, stay with 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Don't ignore cracking bricks and concrete or boat walls. You could be ignoring foundation problems. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions knows these signs could lead to a reduction in your home's value. Visit AquaGuard.net today to book your free inspection. Remember, AquaGuard.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized health care with more one-on-one time with your doctor?
Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Swanee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Swanee from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com.
Customers often ask, what's the right mattress for me? At the Original Mattress Factory, our answer is always the same. It's all about personal preference. You should select the one that feels right to you because there isn't a one-mattress-fits-all solution. That's why we offer a selection of quality and comfort choices for every preference. And our sales team will help you find the right product for your specific needs. At the Original Mattress Factory, we have the right mattress for just about everyone. Stop by to find yours today.
Sell your home and get paid twice? Orchard makes it happen. Get cash up front to buy now, then more when your old place sells for top dollar. Go to Orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL.
You're hardly at home in the spring. Your family is busier than ever. So are the springs on your garage door. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. If your garage door just isn't right, really noisy, won't open or close, there could be a lot of reasons why, like a broken spring or a busted opener. At All Four Seasons, our highly trained technicians provide 24/7 service, upfront pricing, and free estimates. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Rates are up, rates are down. Every day it's something different. If you're curious about what's going on and when the best time will be to buy or refinance your home, call the experts I trust at Myland. This is Scott Slade. There's a reason the guys and gals at Myland are able to close loans that other local banks just can't. The folks at Myland are local and somebody you can trust to make sure you get the best loan for your needs at the best rate. You don't have to take my word for it. Here are lines from some recent testimonials. Myland kept me up to date and informed with every step of the way. They make you feel like you're one of the most important clients they have. Myland specializes in home financing, and they've seen it all. So whether you want to access the equity in your home to pay for other debts, buy a new home, or anything else, Myland is the place to call. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online, it's myland.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage License C148769. Myland's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Dave Baker here. I know you have big plans for the summer. Did you include plumbing and electrical problems? No? Well, let's keep it that way. Here's a couple of things you can do to avoid nasty summer issues from my friends at Brightbox Electrical and Mr. Plumber, both from the Coolray family of companies. For starters, Mr. Plumber's currently offering a $99 water heater flush. Flushing your water heater is like getting an oil change for your car. It gets rid of buildup and will extend the life of your water heater, and $99 is a great price. Or maybe summer storms have you nervous about losing power to your home and all your important electronics like entertainment systems, your refrigerator, your heating and air, or your medical devices. Brightbox Electrical is currently offering $500 off a Generac home standby generator. You can keep the juice flowing in your home no matter the season or the reason. Go to Coolray.com and schedule your appointment today.
How many of you just started playing air guitar like I did? 72nd birthday, Alex Van Halen, drummer, founding member of the rock band Van Halen. This is Panama. Little known fact, Deborah, Alex Williams was named after Alex Van Halen. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
No, I just made that up. But I didn't even know there was an Alex Van Halen. Is that embarrassing? I know David Lee Roth and I know Van Halen, but there's a more famous
Michael Anthony, Alex Van Halen, don't know them.
Wasn't there a more famous Van Halen than Alex?
Eddie
Van Halen, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's why Alex was overshadowed by Eddie, not Alex Williams. He'll be overshadowed by no one, and he'll do traffic for us coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. Hey, you got 3 minutes. Keyword Thursday. That's the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Keyword Thursday. THURSDAY. Enter that into the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash. Win $1,000. Coming up after news, weather, and traffic, travel expert Peter Greenberg joins us. We'll update the pending trade deal with the United Kingdom and what's going on between India and Pakistan. All that next on The Mark Arum Show.
Scott Slade here from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Storm season officially here, friends, and it wreaks havoc on your house and your roof. It's Mark Arum here. If you truly want peace of mind about your roof, and for many years to come, ask Dr. Roof about their lifetime warranty. Dr. Roof's warranty means they have your roof covered for the lifetime of your roof, and if anything comes up, Dr. Roof will take care of it. You never have to worry about a thing. They stand behind it since they've been in business for over 35 years. Now that is peace of mind. All the info online at drroof.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 10:30, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. Our top story, the Catholic Church is still without a pope after black smoke billows out of the chimney at the Sistine Chapel this morning. Thousands are waiting in St. Peter's Square for the moment that smoke turns white.
Some people I've met have said they are going to be here every morning, every evening until that smoke is white. When that happens, we expect this entire square to fill to capacity. That's 250,000 people.
Maggie Worley reports the next pope must secure votes from at least 2/3 of the cardinals. More votes are taking place this hour as the cardinals resume after lunch. Atlanta's popular e-bike voucher program could get an extension.
New legislation introduced by Atlanta City Council member Marcy Collier Overstreet would set aside $1 million more in funding to continue the e-bike rebate program. Last year, the City Council allocated $1 million for the program that helped more than 500 Atlantans buy e-bikes. More than 11,000 residents applied for the rebates. A report by the Atlanta Regional Commission found those who received the vouchers took 40% fewer car trips to work or school. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
The Pakistani military announcing this hour it shot down 25 drones from India that violated its airspace. A military spokesperson says those drones were engaged in multiple locations.
It comes less than a day after India said it had targeted terrorist infrastructure based on credible intelligence. The United States and United Nations have called on Pakistan and India to avoid any further escalation. But Pakistan claims it is now the victim of another serious provocation.
Azadeh Moshiri reports Pakistan also claims it has killed 40 to 50 Indian troops along the border with Kashmir. The FAA says it's working to accelerate technological and logistical improvements and increase air traffic control staffing after massive delays at Newark International Airport.
When there are those FAA issues, you have technology outages, staffing shortages, etc. The FAA requires all airlines to slow down aircraft and or cancel flights to maintain the highest levels of safety.
Gio Benitez reports the CEO of United says in a letter that all flights in and out of Newark are, quote, absolutely safe. A new Republican enters Georgia's Senate race. Congressman Buddy Carter of Southeast Georgia announces his campaign in a new ad, calling himself a MAGA warrior and featuring a message from President Trump.
Buddy Carter, warrior, great guy.
Carter is the first prominent Georgia Republican to announce that he will challenge Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff. That comes since Governor Kemp announced this week that he would not enter that 2026 race. Tonight, Peachtree Corners officials will share with the public the findings of a study focused on whether the city can create a police department.
A third-party feasibility study looked at a variety of factors, including the pros and cons of leaving the city in the Gwinnett County Police Department's jurisdiction. City Manager Brian Johnson says that was the option chosen when the city incorporated in 2012.
When we were first incorporated, the decision was made for us to essentially rent police service from Gwinnett County.
The meeting is at 7 tonight. You can attend in person at Christ the King Lutheran Church on Peachtree Parkway or online on the city's website. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It's 10:33. We've got live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Well, Austin, we've got some brake lights rolling through Lawrenceville towards Decula because of the road work in the right lane on Highway 316 eastbound at High Hope. Just allow a few extra minutes to get through there. Hero working on clearing a stall in Spaghetti Junction on the 285 northbound ramp to I-85. They had that on the left shoulder. And just for a few moments leaving downtown, Hero paced traffic to clear some debris 85 south down around Cleveland Avenue. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly to mostly cloudy today with scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon to evening hours. Today's high is 81, lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated rain shower, high near 80. Saturday, mostly cloudy, breezy, and cool, high 67.
Right now it's 68 degrees in Decatur, also 68 in Vinings, and 67 in Midtown. More news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Well, first I want to start and say air travel is safe everywhere in the country, including
That's Scott Kirby, CEO of United Airlines, this morning at Newark Airport. What is going on with the Newark nightmare? Travel expert Peter Greenberg joins us live in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
Playing a game with your family, that's a lot of fun. Playing a game with your roof, you'll lose every time. Dave Baker here for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. When it comes to replacing or repairing your roof, think of Findlay first. You'll always win with Findlay. They're the extra effort experts with high quality, highly rated roofing experience and expertise. They've replaced over 65,000 roofs locally. With Findlay, manners matter. With Findlay, you get upfront pricing, exceptional service, and they'll treat your home like it's their own. Win, win, win. Only Findlay Roofing stands behind their work with a lifetime leak-free warranty at no additional cost, and you'll pay nothing until the job is complete. Findlay Roofing is the perfect match for any roofing issues. Plus, they offer 0% financing. Get started with a free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com. Roof.
For many women in our community, support for our physical and mental health feels out of reach.
When your workday is long,
and your budget is tight,
and your village is busy,
and the road between home and help is a 6-lane highway with no crosswalk.
Northside Hospital believes women deserve better.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work.
We got your house call.
Heard.
Learn more at northside.com/heard.
Is your old AC unit ready for another sweltering Atlanta summer? Probably not. Hey, good news. Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable. Great new deal going on right now, guys. Any size AC, just $69.99 a month, 0 down, low monthly payments, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. Any AC, just $69.99 a month. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the schedule service button or call or text 770-594-9969.
As Georgia's homegrown leader in business insurance, Builders partners with thousands of local businesses to safeguard workers and help them return to their lives after injuries. Explore reliable workers' compensation solutions at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
10:37, and the News Watch just does not stop here on the Mark Arum Show. We're awaiting details on the big trade deal President Trump announced this morning on social media between the United States and the United Kingdom. We've got further escalation between India and Pakistan. And, of course, we're monitoring what's going on at the Vatican. All eyes on the Vatican chimney as conclave continues. The big political breaking news yesterday was we have our first candidate running for the Senate seat. Now that we know that Governor Kemp is not running, our first Republican candidate has thrown his hat in the ring. It's U.S. Rep. Buddy Carter of St. Simon's Island. Some breaking news on that front. Representative Carter is going to join us live in studio for his first full radio interview since announcing his candidacy. So make sure you're listening tomorrow. Again, Georgia Republican Congressman Buddy Carter of St. Simon's Island will be live in studio here on the Mark Arum Show. Now, he could fly from St. Simon's Island, but I think he's probably going to drive. Speaking of travel expert Peter Greenberg joins us live on the Mark Arum Show. Peter, my brother, how are you?
Very good, sir.
That, I'm assuming very good means you're not stuck at Newark Airport right now.
I'm not far from it. I'm actually in Manhattan today.
Oh, excellent. Beautiful. All right. I've been calling it the Newark Nightmare. I've been waiting all morning, all week, actually, to get your take on what exactly is going on at Newark. And should we be worried that what happens in Newark could happen elsewhere?
Well, we should be concerned because it is happening elsewhere. It's been going on for 40 years, Mark. It just reached a boiling point with the blackout that we talked about earlier in the week that you reported on. But what's going on here is a sort of a perfect storm between not enough staffing, not enough budget, not enough training, not enough state-of-the-art equipment, and a federal bureaucracy that's moved at glacier-like speed to fix something they could have fixed 40 years ago, and it continues to get worse. Let's start with training and staffing. We have 3 major air traffic control centers where the staffing threshold is below 85%. What that means is you're actually making air traffic controllers work mandatory overtime in the one job that nobody should be working overtime. Then you've got equipment. They're actually separating planes in some air traffic control centers using strips of paper and old copper wires. This is 2025. What happened? Well, what happened is the FAA has been talking about implementing new generation or next generation technology for 40 years. But the federal procurement laws and the time it takes to review and approve a process to get the money allocated, by the time they implement the new generation technology, it's old generation technology. They have to ramp that up. And then, of course, it's training and staffing in other areas of the FAA, inspection of maintenance, inspection of manufacturing, and, of course, inspection of operations. All of this is failing at the same time.
Now, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is going to hold a press conference at 1:30 today, this afternoon, to talk about his plans to revamp the FAA and what's going on. Do we have any idea what the Transportation Secretary is going to propose?
Well, in the short term, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually institutes a mandatory reduction in flow, meaning telling the airlines they can't operate as many flights as they want to operate in the Northeast corridor, which, of course, will automatically impact Atlanta. That's number one. The second thing he might do, it's been done before, and it's technically possible to do, is to open up previously restricted military airspace to allow more planes to be flying at any one given time and not be a factor of safety. They've done it once before, and guess what happened? When they did it, there are no delays and no cancellations. Let's see if they do that today. But the long-term problems can't be solved today. It takes 7 years by the time you hire a new air traffic controller to the time they're really ready to sit at that console by themselves and control those planes. You have to get that equipment ordered and delivered this year. That's not going to happen. So we're dealing with some long-term problems and not necessarily short-term solutions.
Goodness gracious. Travel expert Peter Greenberg joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. What about the mandatory retirement age at 56 to ease some of the shortages? Could that be bumped up to, say, 60 years old? Would that help at all?
It would help. But keep in mind that the stress level of an air traffic controller, right now you have a lot of employees at the Newark Center who are out on medical leave. It's like PTSD time.
Yeah.
And you know, you can't overestimate that problem. It comes with the job. So you need to hire more people. You need to train them much more better. Listen to my language. Much more better. I'll live with that. But you also have to do it in such a way that you account for attrition and retirement, which the FAA has never done. That's one of the reasons why they're at low staffing levels.
Now, this I found this interesting. The tower for Newark Airport is in Pennsylvania. Why is that, and is that causing any extra grief for Newark?
It doesn't cause any extra grief for Newark because the technology allows for that. I mean, look, the tower for Chicago is somewhere else in Illinois, but it's not in Chicago. Same thing with Los Angeles. It's out in Palmdale. So that's not a problem. The problem is staffing it properly. And right now they're understaffed, and we're paying the price for that.
Now, most of the folks listening here have no plans, in the near term or long term to fly through Newark, and they're saying, well, this doesn't impact me. But delays in Newark could impact delays for travel across the United States. First question for you. Newark is a hub for what major airlines, and what kind of implication could it have nationwide if they continue to struggle?
Well, Newark is the hub for United Airlines.
Yeah.
They're the predominant carrier there. And they're having the biggest problems. They're the ones who are canceling the most flights now from an operational nature, not to mention their revenue hit. So there's an issue there. But forgetting United Airlines, anytime you have a delay on the East Coast, you can count on it affecting Atlanta. You can count on it affecting Chicago. You can count on it affecting L.A. It moves from the east to the west, and it's not good.
Oh, interesting. All right, the news team's been covering this Real ID story for a couple of days now, and I've been, brushing it aside because I've had my Real ID for years now. In the state of Georgia, we were ahead of the curve getting that onto our driver's licenses, but maybe there are folks that don't have that Real ID yet. If they don't, what should they know when it comes to traveling through the airports?
Well, about 90% of Americans now do have it on their driver's licenses. About 9 or 10% don't. That accounts for all the late-minute lines at the DMVs around the country as people are panicking to try to get it. But let me give you an assurance here that if you show up at Hartsfield today and you don't have it on your driver's license, you're not going to be denied flying. You're just going to be asked additional questions to prove that you are who you say you are. However, if you hold a valid U.S. passport, you don't need Real ID. You already have it. The passport basically takes precedence over anything. If you have one of those, or if you have a global entry card, those two will already give you Real ID.
I got to get that global entry. My wife's on my case for doing it. Thank you for reminding me. I got to do that. So if you don't have a passport and you don't have a Real ID, you're going to be, asked extra questions. As far as preparations for travelers, should they get there, an hour before they normally would to give themselves a buffer? Or how early should they be showing up?
I would get there an hour before right now because there's still a lot of confusion there. The TSA agents still have to be trained in the questions they need to ask you. It's a brave new world for them as well. The irony here is that Real ID was passed by an act of Congress in 2003. It was supposed to kick in 2005. So for the last 20 years, it's the can that kept on getting kicked down the road, and now it's finally happening, and people are just like, really? Well, yeah, really.
Well, 90%. That makes me feel better about kind of ignoring this story that 9 out of 10 people listening already have that Real ID. So for the 10% that don't, bring your passport or give yourselves a little extra time. Obviously, we've been hyper-focused on the drop in tourism here in the United States, specifically here in Metro Atlanta, foreign visitors just not coming. Is there a possibility, though, as we head to the summer travel season, that we might be able to scoop up better airfares because less folks are flying in from Europe or other countries to the U.S.?
In the short term, and when I say short term, Mark, I mean in the last 2 weeks. In the next 2 weeks, the answer is yes. But here's how the airlines are pivoting. They're either reducing frequencies or they're downsizing the size of the airplanes flying those routes, which means airfares will go up, not down. But for the next 2 weeks until they can adjust, yep, it's a buyer's market.
I know you're about to ask me about my my flight to Japan this summer. I have good news for you, Peter, because I got literal sticker shock when I saw what the fares were. But my wife is way smarter than I am, and she searched around. Instead of a direct flight from Atlanta's Hartsfield to Haneda in Tokyo, we've got a brief layover in L.A., and it sliced our ticket price in more than half. It was stunning.
Oh, yeah. Look, it all gets down to the strategies you use. I was looking at a fare the other day. Coach ticket, one way from London to Los Angeles. They wanted $3,000. So I went back into the system, and I rebooked it as New York, London, layover for a couple of days, and then London, L.A., $690.
Wow.
Same flight. So play the game. Look at one-way tickets when they work. Look at round-trip tickets when the other flights don't. You will find better deals.
Peter Greenberg plays those games. You're in Manhattan now. Where are you headed to next, brother?
Barcelona. You'll be talking to me next in Spain.
Barcelona. I'm a little
and
jealous
you pronounced
of that.
it correctly.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Peter, you're an invaluable resource, brother. We really appreciate your time. Safe travels, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
You got it, Mark.
There you go. Travel expert Peter Greenberg in New York City. Deborah, I sent the email about vacation. I had to change the vacation. Yep. Maya's, she's the queen. It was less than half price. We had to leave early, so Friday, a 7 a.m. flight out of Atlanta to LAX, but it was half price. It was like a BOGO.
Yeah, totally worth it.
Yeah, it was like a BOGO because literally, I was freaking out. I was like, I don't know, baby. I don't think we can go see your mom this summer. I can't afford that. And then she said, well, listen, Deborah said she's not going to take vacation for World Cup tickets.
Yeah, I'm not taking vacation because I'm going to the World Cup.
You can stop buying baseball cards for a minute, you hump, and then we can go visit my. But no, Maya saved the day. Half price. It was amazing. There you go. Work the system. Play the game, as Peter Greenberg said. All right, when we come back, we're going to go back to D.C., get the latest on the trade deal. We'll update what's going on between India and Pakistan, and we'll see what's going on at the Vatican. So much to get you caught up to date with. But first, let's get you caught up to date on these streets. Live in Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center, Ashley Frasca.
Just a few delays around town with road work. It's set up on the 75 northbound ramp to 285 west in Clayton County. So that has you on the brakes leaving Terra Boulevard up from 1941. Also set up in the right lane, Lawrenceville and Decula, 316 eastbound at High Hope. And just spotted some crews working on the shoulder of 75 northbound before Chastain Road, causing a few brake lights through Kennesaw. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
This is Jill from Roswell, and I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 12.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Home is where the heart is. It's your happy place, right? But when bugs and critters bust in, not so happy, and it happened to me. Hey, it's Mark Arum from my pals at Breda Pest Management. Boy, did they come to our rescue. When we moved to our new home, we were shocked to see 2 beady little eyes in the basement. So gross. What do? We called Breda to kick those critters out. They found and secured a bunch of entry points. Next, they trapped and removed the critters, disposed of their nesting, disinfect and deodorized, all like they were never even there. And check this out, guys. Under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, if critters chew new holes in your home, you stay protected at no additional cost. Only Breda guarantees old and new entry points, while others only cover what they originally sealed. Breda, they handle bugs and critters the best in the biz. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Home improvement projects can be a stressful guessing game. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus, the highest level of communication. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. We'll make you comfortable and keep you informed with every step of your project.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Hey folks, it's Shelley Winter here. You know, sometimes they make fun of me around the office because I doze off at my desk while doing show prep. Well, you know why that happened? It's because of a lack of sleep. I have sleep apnea. So if you snore or have sleep apnea also, you're not living life to the fullest. So listen up. I know you're tired, but in all seriousness, this is important. My friends over at Palmetto Sleep are changing lives with a custom-fit oral appliance that stops your snoring and treats sleep apnea. I'm not talking about something you buy out of a supermarket. This is a custom-made for your mouth and covered by your private medical insurance. What I love most is that they do everything from the diagnosis to the delivery of the oral appliance and everything in between. They even provide a take-home sleep study and virtual consults. If you're ready for a great night's sleep, you're ready for Palmetto Sleep. Go to palmettosleep.com. That's palmettosleep.com right now. Don't suffer from another sleepless night. PalmettoSleep.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people pay to share their opinions, and this ad plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
10:54 on the Mark Arum Show. Congrats to Linda and Marietta. She just won $1,000 in the 5K day bonus splits just for listening to the Mark Arum Show. Your next chance to win, I'll give you the keyword after the noon news here on 95.5 WSB. Very excited to have joining us live from Bloomberg News covering the Fed, our buddy Janelle Marte. Janelle, good morning. We heard from the Fed chair yesterday, Jerome Powell. Any indication if the rates are going to go up or down?
So good to have. Thank you so much for having me. And clearly, Powell did his job yesterday. He did not give us any clue as to when he thinks they'll have the confidence to make the next rate move. Instead, he really drove home the message that he has been sending, which is that they are comfortable where they are. They are good waiting until they have more information as to where things are going to go with the economy, with inflation. And he mentioned, in response to my question, that it is a really difficult time for them to do anything preemptive with rate cuts. They don't know which way things are really going to go. He said they want to know where things are going to shake out, right? And he even alluded to the fact that the administration is entering a new phase where it is having more in-depth conversations with its trade partners, right? So these tariffs could look very different down the line, and that's what they're basically saying, that they want to know how things are going to look in the end and then see what that means for the economy.
As you mentioned that, Janelle, right now we're looking live. The United States, President Trump announcing a trade agreement with the United Kingdom.
Well, particularly Howard and Jameson, who've done an incredible job, a very professional job.
So he's on speakerphone with someone right now, but we're going to get more details. That's the Prime Minister of the UK, Starmer. So the first trade deal in the books, perhaps that's a good sign. That's what that Jerome Powell wanted to hear.
And he's not saying what's good or what's bad. He's basically saying we don't know what the final tariffs are going to be. Once those have been determined, we can see what the direction is going to be for the economy. And once we know what that direction is, we can move quickly if needed. That's what he has said. So they're going to hold where they are now until there is more of a concrete sense of what the tariffs are going to be. And not just tariffs, there's also immigration and other changes that are being made. You know, he said there are changes happening very quickly, and they don't want to move in the wrong direction. That's what some other officials have said, that they'd rather wait and move in the right direction than move quickly in the wrong direction.
Janelle Marte covers the Fed for Bloomberg News. Janelle, as always, appreciate your time. All right, we're monitoring this trade agreement just signed between the United States and the United Kingdom. We'll have the details on those when we come back. And then author Jen Hildreth is going to join us live in studio. One more big congratulations to Linda in Marietta. She just won $1,000. That easy. Listening to the Mark Arum Show. Your next chance to win $1,000 comes after the new news. Going to give you another keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Another chance to win $1,000, just like Linda in Marietta did. Social medias are active throughout this busy Newsday Thursday at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
For over 8 years now, QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain with over 50,000 satisfied patients. People with knee and back pain now living pain-free, shoulder and hip pain gone. Hey, it's Mark Arum. What they're doing is nothing short of remarkable. They're using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissues in your achy joints. They're using biologic growth factors with robust healing properties carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing that old tissue. Best part, with QC Kinetics, no drugs, no surgery, and there's no downtime. This is an all-natural, cellular level option with lasting relief. The patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Call QC Kinetics now and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life, truly your best pain-free life. Call 770-285-8026, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
Market volatility isn't slowing down. If you're nearing retirement, now is not the time to wait and see. Every day of uncertainty can put your future at risk. It's time to diversify. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know you can create certainty, locking in guaranteed income for life. This means predictable, stable cash flow, even in turbulent times. You've worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance. Right now, there are options to receive up to 30% upfront or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't wait. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any examples provided are hypothetical. Annuities are issued with prospectus and sales brochures and should be reviewed carefully before funding as features and benefits vary. DBA in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Our top story, Cardinals casting another round of ballots now at the Vatican as they work to choose the next pope. That's after black smoke came out of the Sistine Chapel's chimney earlier this morning.
There's a little shed where they keep the tools and the little trivets and all that they use to put the floor in. And the chimney stack itself is stored in the attic of the Sistine Chapel, like leaning up against a wall.
That's Vatican expert Mountain Buterak referencing the chimney that was installed there. He says another round of voting is also expected this afternoon if no one reaches the 2/3 majority needed in the vote currently underway. It is 71 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. Another cloudy day today. Some pop-up showers around the metro too. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. The Fulton County Commission approves a one-time cash infusion for detention officers' overtime at the county jail.
The quarterly $1.7 million for jail overtime and another $1 million for hiring and retention come in a resolution from Fulton County Commissioner Bob Ellis, who makes pointed accusations that the sheriff's office mismanages personnel.
Folks that are working in jail facilities bringing in contraband, which
one could presume to be a contributing factor to the violence and vandalism present within the jail.
Two commissioners like the funding but cringe at the language. Commissioner Dana Barrett.
There's a lot of unnecessary commentary in there.
The money stops at year's end. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Both Ukraine and Russia say attacks persist despite Moscow's call for a 3-day pause in fighting.
President Putin today declared a unilateral 3-day ceasefire, but that just means that the fighting will resume on Sunday. And as for President Trump's proposal, which essentially freezes the armies, the front lines where they are, and lets Russia keep the territory that they've taken, that proposal seems to be going nowhere.
Elizabeth Palmer reports Ukraine's foreign minister accused Russia of violating its own ceasefire hundreds of times between midnight and midday. Historians have a whole new batch of materials to pore over. National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard has released today thousands of documents tied to the assassination of Senator Robert F. Kennedy.
Much of the information has already been released in some form, including transcripts of the initial police interview of suspected assassin Sirhan Sirhan hours after the killing of Robert F. Kennedy. Now we get to hear it.
Why don't you talk to me? Hey.
Jim Ryan reports Health and Human Services Director RFK Jr. has said he doesn't believe Sirhan killed his father despite a guilty plea. Delta Airlines has convinced a federal judge to toss most claims in a proposed class action suit stemming from that massive outage last July.
Groups of domestic and international flyers sued. They alleged in the proposed class action that Delta did not do an adequate job of making up for widespread flight delays and cancellations triggered by a software update from CrowdStrike. But a federal judge has ruled that many of the claims were preempted by the Airline Deregulation Act. The judge did allow a breach of contract claim to move forward. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
Could a new police force be established in Gwinnett County? Well, that's the focus of a community meeting happening tonight. The city of Peachtree Corners has hired a third-party group to carry out an extensive study, and they'll release the results of that at 7 o'clock tonight at Christ the King Lutheran Church on Peachtree Parkway. You can also watch it online on the city's website. It is 11:03. The Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, we've got live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, good morning, Austin. Found the reason for the delays in Forest Park in Clayton County, 75 northbound. It's left lane construction on that 75 north ramp to 285 westbound. The inner loop there, that's why it's slow coming up through Forest Park. Looks like new trouble, 285 southbound, the inner loop approaching East Ponce, exit number 40 there into DeKalb County. I think right now all lanes are blocked. I'm going to try to get a better view on that. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly to mostly cloudy today with scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms, high 81, lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated rain shower possible, high near 80. Saturday, mostly cloudy, breezy and cool, high 67.
Right now it's 70 degrees in Stockbridge, 71 in Alpharetta, and also 71 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. More news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
I want this town to be near you.
11:05 on an increasingly busy Newsday Thursday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Coming up in just a couple minutes, Channel 2's Michael Seiden's going to join us live in studio. Deborah's got amazing tickets to give away after the news at 11:35. And then right after the new news, I will give you another keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. You could win $1,000 just like Linda and Marietta did last. I love that, Deborah. We just gave away $1,000 like it was nothing. I mean, it's not our money, so it's no. But I just love giving back. So another chance to win $1,000 coming up in an hour. Some big stories we're covering. We're monitoring what's going on in the Oval Office right now. The United States, President Trump has just announced the first trade agreement. This one with our allies, the United Kingdom. We're still working to get details on that, and we'll bring them to you live. And I know at least one set of eyes here. Deborah's going to be looking at the Vatican, see if we see white smoke anytime soon, as the conclave continues trying to select the new pope. But joining us live in studio, very excited, author, sports announcer, play-by-play extraordinaire, Jen Hildreth. Jen, welcome to the Mark Arum Show. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. Great to be here.
I love this fact. So you have a new book out, Tough as a Mother, talking about motherhood and your job, your journalistic career. Jen, play-by-play on ESPN, ACC Network, FIFA Women's World Cup, on Fox, the Olympics on NBC. You've seen it all. You've done it all. What I love, though, I'm going to take you back to the late 1990s.
Okay.
I love this, too. Deborah, pay attention. So in the late 1990s, there were 3 aspiring sports journalists that were all hanging out. Jen Hildreth, Mark Arum, and Mark Matcham. And we used to hang out together. You don't even remember that, do you?
Vaguely, but my memory is like not to be trusted on anything, Mark.
So I was at WSB Radio, and I wanted to do sports, and you were at the AJC at that time.
Yeah,
And-
probably.
And Mark Match was the NBA Network, and we were hanging out, and then I saw your career. Just I was so proud. I'm like, that's Jen. We used to drink Natty Light together in Toco Hills. So I'm excited that you're here. Let's talk about the book first. Tough as a Mother: Woman in Sports, Working Moms.
Yes. Well, thanks for giving me the platform to talk about it, because I think it's important. And I'm laughing that it's, why did the Natty Light Toco Hills bring it all back?
Right
real
there.
quickly?
Now you got it.
Yeah. No, but I think that being a working mom is certainly challenging.
Yeah.
And anyone who's been in it knows that. And my co-author, Amy Leone, and I just had this feeling of there's this real void of needing to support women, because it is a hard task, but we want to keep women doing whatever it is that they love to do and not feel like they have to choose between wanting to have a career and wanting to have a family. So anything that we could do to put those stories out there and try to provide this sisterhood of support, that's kind of the genesis.
And
for it.
it's relatable, I would imagine, for any working mom,
Yeah.
right? If you're a corporate mom or a sports broadcasting mom, but what I would think makes it more difficult in your profession is you don't have a 9 to 5 where you're driving to the office every day. You're in Greenville, you're in Tuscaloosa, you're a traveling working mom.
Yeah, and I think the travel is definitely the part that when I look back on my career, it's the hardest. It wears
Yeah.
on you the most as an individual, as a mom, as a wife. And I think that just supporting through those moments is certainly something that's important. And I have my family to support me. My husband, I couldn't do any of this without him. So I've got to give him a shout out too. But yeah, it's tough when you're on the road. But it is tough. And I want to make sure that this is clear, that this book is for all moms.
Yes, exactly.
The sports is the part that I think makes it kind of unique, because we saw that there were these traits that elite athletes have that working moms also bring to the table every day. And they might just not know how tough they are, that they have all of these things inside of them, the passion, the drive. They've got adaptability, they've got moxie, they've got sacrifice. That all comes with it. We see athletes display that all the time, but working moms also display that.
The book is Tough as a Mother. I'm holding up live on the live stream at WSBradio.com. So let's go back to the late 90s, the Natty Light and Toco Hills.
Okay.
And, we all had this shared dream, like, oh, sports media, that's the thing. And correct me if I'm wrong making this assumption, it was a lot tougher for a woman to break through in that industry in 1999 than it is in 2025. We've seen an evolution in sports journalism and women. Talk about that and what it was like for you to crack through that glass ceiling and how it's changed or not changed.
Yeah, well, I think back to those days, when I was coming out of college, and the route that I saw to being, if you wanted to be on television as a female, was probably as a sideline reporter.
Yeah.
That is where you saw it the most. And now I think what's really changed is that has expanded. And my career has certainly been profoundly impacted by that. I never would have imagined I'd be a play-by-play announcer. I thought, yeah, I want to be I love being at games. I love the idea of being in and around sports. So sideline reporter sounded great to me. But then my eyes opened up to that there were all these other possibilities, and I may not have ever heard or seen a female play-by-play voice very often. There were a few out there. Beth Mowins is certainly one that comes to mind that's been doing it for a long time and doing it so well.
Yeah.
But now to have the opportunity to do more things and to be accepted in those things, it's still a fight at times.
Well, yeah, but the acceptance level has, I remember when I'm a Braves fan. I'm wearing a Braves hat. I grew up a Yankees fan. And when Susan Waldman started, contributing to the Yankees broadcast, there was like a lot of,
uproar.
Older school Yankee fans, like, what is she? Why?
Yeah.
And now, it's a legendary figure. So, it's taken time, but I think it's trending in the right direction.
Yeah, I feel that way. I always sort of felt like I have to earn it a little more so than if a man was stepping into my role. And I was okay with that at the time, because I thought, all right, I'll get in there and I'll earn it. I'll prove that I belong here. And it's kind of been that way throughout. And I think that's an important growth step anyway, that you want to have that ability to prove yourself. And now I think there's a little bit more of an openness to saying, oh, you might actually be ready for this. You
Yeah.
might be prepared and someone who's going to be good at this job before you have to go in there and prove it.
Yeah, the confident. I mean, again, I've been watching from afar going, oh, my God, Jen is just crushing it. So I'm obviously a sports fan. You've had a front row seat to I'm assuming, some amazing sporting events. Any highlights? And you're still so young. Like, your career's not over, but you've accomplished so much so far. Anything stand out that you've been able to witness?
Yeah, for sure. And I appreciated you giving me a heads up about this because I'm so bad at, like, whatever jumps in the head is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But there is one certainly that stands out. And my friend Debbie Antonelli is going to wince when I say this. But so Pat Summitt, when she reached her 1,000th career
Tennessee
win
Volunteers.
at Tennessee, yeah, the legendary coach at the University of Tennessee, I was working at Fox Sports South at the time, just down the road. And I was doing some sideline reporting, and we didn't do a lot of women's basketball with sideline reporters at the time. But this game, because they knew she was coming up on that big milestone, they put a sideline reporter on the game. And so I got to interview her. And when she reached that milestone, and I say Debbie's still mad about it, and I love Debbie, Hall of Fame announcer, analyst in basketball. She was on the game, and she was like, I can't believe that you did that interview, and I didn't. I've been there for all these moments.
So you were there for the 1,000th win.
I was there.
Oh,
yeah, it
that's
was incredible.
huge.
Yeah, that's definitely one that I think stands out.
Yeah. So I grew up in Connecticut, so we didn't have much but UConn basketball. As far as
Women's basketball.
and the women especially. So I've been a college basketball fanatic, men and women's, for my entire life. If you don't mind, can we talk about the Caitlin Clark impact on the WNBA? I mean, I've never seen anything like. We've had amazing female basketball players: Diana Taurasi, Rebecca Loeb. I'm just naming Husky legends here, but they never changed the paradigm of what women's basketball has become. Why was it Caitlin Clark? Was it just timing?
I think timing was a little bit of it, and I do truly think she is a generational type talent. And what she does, I mean, was it the preseason game the other day where she winds up hitting a shot from even further than the logo? I mean, it's not just hitting deep threes. Like, she really captures everything that I think people want to see. She's going to bring something exciting every time. And to your point, we've had players like that. You can add Sue Bird to that list.
Exactly,
So, another UConn great. But I think it's exposure. And it's not just exposure to a women's basketball audience. It's everybody else kind of looking in and saying, oh, there's something really great happening here. And she is great, as are many other players, but she helped bring so much of that attention. And why exactly it's happening now? I mean, women's basketball is certainly experiencing a surge. It's getting better coverage, better investment. And I think that's a huge thing for women's sports in general. Put it where people can see it.
I've been in Atlanta since '96. And only 2 times in my sports watching career in Atlanta did an organization change a venue for a certain player. Michael Jordan, they moved the game to the Georgia Dome because so many people. And then the Atlanta Dream, they moved the game because they wanted to sell so many more tickets.
Yes.
That's the level of we're talking about here. I could talk to you forever, Jen. It's so great catching up to you. The book is Tough as a Mother. Aside from everyone going out and buying the book, I'm assuming bookstores everywhere, Amazon, all that stuff.
Amazon for sure. Hopefully your local bookstore should be there.
Excellent. Real quick, personally, where are you living now? What are you doing for work now? Where can we find you? You still out there hustling the sports game?
Still grinding, trying to survive. Yeah, live north of Atlanta, so still have managed to stay in Atlanta with my 2 daughters, my husband, and 2 dogs. And ESPN play-by-play, NWSL, that's happening now. We'll actually have a game on ABC Saturday, I think, at noon. And then women's basketball and soccer collegiately.
Social media.
Oh, yeah. At Jen Hildreth 40 on Instagram.
2 N's in Jen.
You got
by the
it,
way.
yes.
Jen, very proud of you, man. Keep it up.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
excellent.
you.
Good luck with the book, Tough as a Mother, holding it up on the WSB Radio live stream. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Channel 2 Action News reporter Michael Seiden has got a big investigation tonight on Channel 2. We'll pick his brain about that. More details on the big trade deal between the United States and United Kingdom. And when will we have the next pope? So much more to come on the Mark Arum Show. Let's check the Thursday morning drive around town live with the latest. Here's Alex Williams.
Yeah, right now we're watching construction on the south side. It's in Clayton County, Mark, 75 north, the ramp to 285 westbound, the inner loop down there by the airport. Left lane of that ramp is blocked, so a few delays coming up through Forest Park. They blocked and reopened all lanes in Clarkston, 285 southbound, the inner loop. Right at East Ponce, exit 40, got some trouble off to the right. That's why you're seeing a few brake lights back toward La Vista Road. Traffic brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Build a self-care routine at Whole Foods Market. Save 33% on body care and candles with Prime through May 13th while supplies last. Shop in-store or online. Terms apply. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news.
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every
This
weekday.
is Jill from Roswell, and I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 12
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
on 95.5 WSB.
I wear baseball hats because I like to wear baseball hats. I don't wear them out of necessity. Hey, guys, it's Mark Aaron back with you. I know a lot of folks are listening right now, guys in particular, that wear hats because you don't want to reveal what's going on the top of your head, whether it's a receding hairline or bald spots. Take the hat off and be confident doing it with the help of my friends at Advanced Hair. Quick, simple, one-day treatment, and your real hair begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So baseball hat, not necessarily a requirement, but it's optional. You can wear one. You don't have to wear one. Takes just one visit, but first you need a free consultation, fellas. Schedule now, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. And if you move forward, you'll get $250 off plus 250 free grafts. One-day treatment, life-changing results, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Online at advancedhair.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. That's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
This Mother's Day, don't just buy a gift, make one. Only at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, you can build mom a one-of-a-kind piece of jewelry, designed by you, crafted by our master jewelers. Here's how it works. Pick a ring, bracelet, or necklace from our Mother's Day collection, pick the birthstones that represent your family, and our master jewelers hand set them into something that's hers forever. Prices start at just $3.95. So come build your own Mother's Day jewelry only at D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelly Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for the Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews for My Roofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you'll be able to get it in the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Happy 50th birthday to Andrew Longoria's second favorite singer, Enrique Iglesias. Did I misspeak? I know La Bamba
He's
guy's
one of
number
my
one.
favorites,
He's
yeah,
one of your
yeah,
favorites.
one.
Anyway, happy 50th birthday to Enrique Iglesias, 50 years old today. He is a year younger than I am. We're still trying to get the final details of the U.S.-UK trade deal being worked out at the White House right now. President Trump speaking to reporters, and the Prime Minister, it was kind of funny, Deborah, that President Trump's in the Oval Office to talk about the deal, and they get the Prime Minister of UK on speakerphone. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, Vinny's trying to pull audio of that, but I don't know. I was expecting more, maybe like a Zoom or something.
Yeah.
You could see his face. I don't know. I just thought it was pretty funny. But anyway, first official trade deal, tariff trade deal. We're still waiting to get the details on that, and we'll bring it to you live, of course, throughout the day. All right, joining us live in studio, my man, Michael Seiden from Channel 2 Action News. Michael, good to see you, my friend.
It's great to see you, Mark, in the flesh.
I'm excited for 5:45 p.m. tonight. We obviously cover law enforcement stories just about every day here on the Mark Arum Show, and I'm really intrigued about your story. It comes to police recruitment and police training.
Absolutely. So thanks again for having me. So, so many times we're reporting on deaths in the line of duty.
Yeah.
Officers responding to dangerous situations. But what we don't look at a lot of times is deaths when it comes to training, and specifically recruits. And so earlier this year, the Associated Press, the AP, they came out with a study that it was about 30 police recruits in the last decade have died during basic training, which for somebody who covers law enforcement on a daily basis, I was pretty stunned by that, because my understanding is that you go through a pretty extensive screening period before you
absolutely.
Join the academy. So some of those victims were here in the Georgia area. So my producers and I, we started looking into this. And so basically what we did is we're going to, if you tune in tonight, you will meet this lovely woman, Shauna Dupree, who married her high school sweetheart, and her late husband, Patrick, was a guy that was active his whole life. He played football. He was a police officer for 7 years, and then decided, hey, I want to become a state trooper. And during one of the training exercises, he collapses. They end up rushing him to the hospital. He's pronounced dead.
Wow.
And what they found out afterwards, now he had known he had sickle cell his whole life, but that was a contributing factor to his death. So it kind of raised the question: is what are we screening for when people come into an academy?
So it's not necessarily that the training process is so exhaustive that people are just are dying because it's so physically grueling, but there could be pre-existing conditions that make it a much more dangerous training situation.
Well, like in his particular case, for example, somebody who has sickle cell, when you're dehydrating, strenuous activity, things like that can cause him, I guess he had a heart attack and then died and was dehydrated. That can cause that. So it's not so much that the training is so intense that, they're doing too many push-ups, too many sit-ups, but the question is, even if you go to a doctor, because this guy knew he had it his whole life, could more have been done? It's not like he was just smiling and then, this was a very tough training exercise. So the question is, maybe it was too much. I don't know.
I wonder if part of this, and if I'm stealing your thunder for the story, is we've also covered how recruitment is down. In the military and in law enforcement. If it's becoming, if they're accepting more folks than they might have done 25, 30 years ago, is that an angle of the story or no?
We're not jumping into that, but you bring that up. I mean, I talk to local state law enforcement agents all the time, and they're definitely, the recruitment pool has completely changed than what it looked like, years ago. But yeah, we don't really get into that. But I will say this, we got a chance to go down to the Georgia Public Safety Training Center in Forsyth, which is like, if you ask a cop, they'll tell you it's like Disney World.
Yeah,
for cops.
sure.
And the thing is, we talked to them, and the guy who runs a lot of the recruitment down there and works with these cadets and these recruits on a daily basis. I mean, he said their trainers are CPR certified, and he believes they've kind of changed a little bit the training that they do down there, and he believes that it's safe. And he also mentioned that the fact is, you're not going to get out there until you get screened by a doctor.
All right, I'll be watching tonight, 5:45 p.m. on Channel 2 Action News. Michael Seiden, always good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, too. Thanks
All
for having me.
News, weather, and traffic. When we come back, we'll update our top local stories. Pakistan, India, when's the new pope, and what are the outline of the trade deal between the United States and United Kingdom. So much to talk about. Social media is active throughout the broadcast, at Mark Airman, at WSB Radio.
Keep the heat out of your house this summer and save money on utilities with new windows from Window Nation. Right now, Window Nation is offering 60% off and a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows. Plus, no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments until 2027. Hurry, sale ends soon. 60% off, plus no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments until 2027. Plus, Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty. WindowNation.com or call 866-90-NATION.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter here for my good friends at PalmettoSleep.com. Let's talk about a serious business, sleep apnea. I suffer from it, and whether you've been diagnosed with it or afraid you have it, I have the solution. Palmetto Sleep is here to give you your life back. They make it easy to get help for sleep apnea because living without a good night's sleep is simply no way to live. Palmetto Sleep offers a custom-fitted oral appliance that opens your airway so you naturally breathe the way nature intended. The best part is they offer virtual consultations and in-home sleep testing. No overnight stays at a sleep center. Plus, Palmetto Sleep has all the doctors that you will need. Most appointments are virtual, and it's all covered by your private medical insurance. Don't suffer from another sleepless night or daytime fatigue like I do. Visit PalmettoSleep.com now. Visit PalmettoSleep.com. That's PalmettoSleep.com.
Rhino Shield is better than paint because it will keep your home beautiful, and it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
Get a free estimate at RhinoShieldGA.com.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
These days, the Atlanta real estate market is just like Atlanta weather, unpredictable. Hi, I'm Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB every Saturday at 1 p.m. If there was ever a time to work with a true real estate expert, now is that time. In all my years in residential real estate, this is the most change and volatility I've seen. A misstep could cost thousands. This is when experience matters. My team and I are passionate about providing clarity to our clients through our expertise in real estate. So, if you're thinking of buying or selling a home, we can give you that clarity so you can make great choices and the best decisions. And yes, I host Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB, but you don't have to wait until Saturday for help. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com and ask me anything. My team and I are here for you. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com for clarity in buying or selling your home.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Rocco's European Garage. Our top story, the U.S. and the U.K. announcing just now they've reached a new trade deal. It will cut U.S. tariffs on U.K. cars to 10% and eliminate tariffs on steel and aluminum. President Trump making that announcement minutes ago.
The final details are being written up in the coming weeks. We'll have it all very conclusive, but the actual deal is a very conclusive one. We think just about everything's been approved.
Trump says the deal means the UK will, quote, fast-track American goods through its customs process. Cardinals are still sequestered inside the Sistine Chapel right now after 3 failed votes to elect a pope. It's possible smoke could be seen soon. Another window is later this afternoon as well.
What we see is an atmosphere, I think it's kind of a mix of analysis and prayer right now. They're trying to do what the Holy Spirit wants. They're trying to figure out what the Holy Spirit wants for the church, but there's also the element of political analysis.
Father John Walk says the Cardinals also have to consider a mix of ritual and tradition. A meeting tonight in Peachtree Corners will give residents an opportunity to learn about a possible shift to the city having its own police department.
Peachtree Corners is the largest city in Gwinnett County. With its incorporation in 2012, leaders opted to lease police services from Gwinnett County. City Manager Brian Johnson says they're now looking at perhaps taking that on as a city.
It's really about, maybe you could argue, the most basic, important service a local government can provide, and that is public safety.
The study considered crime levels, demographics, budgetary requirements, and the pros and cons of making a change. The 7 o'clock meeting will be streamed on the city's website. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
The FAA says it's working to accelerate technological and logistical improvements and increase air traffic control staffing after massive delays at Newark International Airport.
When there are those FAA issues, you have technology outages, staffing shortages, etc., the FAA requires all airlines to slow down aircraft and or cancel flights to maintain the highest levels of safety.
Gio Benitez reports the CEO of United says in a letter that all flights in and out of Newark are still absolutely safe. Federal safety officials expand the recall of a popular cooler. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says 130,000 additional 90-quart Igloo flip and tow rolling coolers are being recalled. The tow handle reportedly can pinch a person's fingertips against the device, posing amputation and crushing hazards. So far, more than 1 million of the coolers were recalled. That happened back in February. New legislation introduced in the Atlanta City Council looks to extend the city's popular e-bike rebate program.
The proposal calls for allocating an additional $1 million for Atlanta's e-bike voucher program. Last year, the City Council set aside that same amount, and 500 of the 11,000 residents who applied were granted vouchers to help buy e-bikes. A report by the Atlanta Regional Commission recommends extending the program but lowering the size of the rebate so more people can receive a voucher. Last year, the program handed out up to $2,000 for low-income residents and up to $1,000 rebates for others. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
It is 11:33. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Watching a few brake lights into downtown, 75-85 northbound. You're on and off the brake pedal. University Avenue as you make the trek up past I-22 Freedom Parkway. Sluggish southbound through Midtown, but luckily no crashes or stalls in the way. And down by the airport on the south side in Clayton County, you got that left lane construction on the I-75 north ramp to 285 westbound, the inner loop. That's causing that 75 north ramp to slow back toward Forest Parkway. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly to mostly cloudy today with scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon to evening hours. Today's high is 81, lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated rain shower, high near 80. Saturday, mostly cloudy, breezy, and cool, high 67.
Right now it's 71 degrees in Buford, 72 in College Park, and 72 in Midtown. More news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
The Papal Conclave is underway.
It's history happening right in front of us.
What does it mean for over 1 billion Catholics worldwide?
Cardinals will begin sequestering themselves.
And Catholics here in Atlanta.
Outside of Holy Spirit Catholic Church in Atlanta, Robert tells me he's hopeful for the church's future.
When smoke rises from the Vatican, we'll be here to let you know.
Parishioners telling me they will be praying for the Cardinals as they begin the secretive process.
Tune in often throughout the day for the very latest to 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
It's a little closed, and we appreciate that.
President Trump earlier in the Oval Office banging out the final details of a trade agreement between us and the United Kingdom. We'll go deep into that next. And Deborah has tickets to give away. Coming up next on the Mark Arum Show.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well,
You're wrong. Dave Baker here. At Ben Hill Renovations, deck building goes on year-round. Whether your existing deck is old, rotting, and unsafe, or you just want to upgrade your outdoor living space, now is the perfect time to get the ball rolling. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com. Better yet, go to their showroom, speak with the designer, and see all that they have to offer up close. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Swanee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Swanee, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com.
Rates are up, rates are down. Every day it's something different. If you're curious about what's going on and when the best time will be to buy or refinance your home, call the experts I trust at Myland. This is Scott Slade. There's a reason the guys and gals at Myland are able to close loans that other local banks just can't. The folks at Myland are local and somebody you can trust to make sure you get the best loan for your needs at the best rate. You don't have to take my word for it. Here are lines from some recent testimonials. Myland kept me up to date and informed with every step of the way. They make you feel like you're one of the most important clients they have. Myland specializes in home financing, and they've seen it all. So whether you want to access the equity in your home to pay for other debts, buy a new home, or anything else, Myland is the place to call. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online, it's myland.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage License C148769. Myland's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
This is Greg Trzynski from the Original Mattress Factory. A few years back, there was a surge of online mattress companies offering a one-feel-fits-all mattress. Eventually, they all added more selections. Why? They discovered what we've known for over 30 years. Everyone has unique preferences. At the Original Mattress Factory, we hand-build a range of comfort choices so that you can select the one that suits you best. Don't rely on someone else's opinion. Try out a variety of options and find the one that's right for you. OriginalMattress.com.
That spot on the ceiling, it's only gonna get worse. Hey, it's Dave Baker from my experts at Finley Roofing, the roof guys. Finley now has 0% financing available, so it's even easier to get your roof replaced. FinleyRoofing.com. Roof.
I can't even sing today. This is such a busy news day. Welcome back, friends. 11:38 on the Mark Arum Show. So much news to cover. Getting some additional details on the trade deal between the United States and the United Kingdom. We'll update on that in just a second. But first, we have some tickets to give away. Deborah, what do we have today, my friend?
Tickets to go check out Alice Cooper along with Judas Priest on Thursday, September 18th at Ameris Bank Amphitheater.
All right, let's do the 12th caller, Vin. 12th caller to Vinny Drip at 404-872-0750. 12th caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see that phenomenal concert, Judas Priest. Man, they're still out there, still rocking it. Judas Priest at Ameris Bank Amphitheater, along with Alice Cooper, September 18th, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show on 95.5 WSB. Don't forget, after the new news, another chance for you to win $1,000 in the 5K a day bonus splits, just like Lisa and Marietta, or Linda. Linda, listen, in Marietta, she won $1,000.
Hey, this is Linda Withrow, and I just won $1,000 on WSB.
Yeah, you did, Linda. You're welcome. You're welcome, Linda. Thanks for listening. Enjoy that $1,000 in cash. All right, trade deal. Trying to get some more information about it. President Trump pushed it out on social media that our first official trade deal would be our longtime partners in the United Kingdom.
The final details are being written up in the coming weeks. We'll have it all very conclusive, but the actual deal is a very conclusive one. We think just about everything's been approved.
Apparently heavy on future commitments is what we're hearing early on. Stacey Lynn has more from CBS.
With UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer on the phone.
We've reached a breakthrough trade deal with the United Kingdom.
The president announced the deal.
With this deal, the UK joins the United States in affirming that reciprocity and fairness is an essential and vital principle.
Starmer says when it comes to defense, security, and intelligence sharing, there are no two closer countries.
And now we take this into
new and important territory by adding trade and the economy.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
All right, first of many trade deals, or is this a standalone? Is this the first domino? We shall see. President Trump earlier in the week when he was meeting with the Prime Minister of Canada had said he had a huge announcement coming toward the end of the week. Was this the huge announcement, or is there another one yet to come? We'll see. But our first official trade deal with our allies, the United Kingdom. 3% of our trade goes to the UK, so not insignificant, but certainly not a China or an India. Speaking of India, Pakistan-Indian tensions are rising. The Pakistani military says it shot down 25 drones from India that violated its airspace. A military spokesman says the drones were engaged in multiple locations. BBC's Zeta Moshiri reports from Islamabad.
In a press conference, a spokesman for the army claimed India had, in his words, committed a second act of aggression against Pakistan. He said debris from the drones are being collected across the country. It comes less than a day after India said it had targeted terrorist infrastructure based on credible intelligence. The United States and United Nations have called on Pakistan and India to avoid any further escalation.
Yeah.
But Pakistan claims it is now the victim of another serious provocation.
Now, we've been down similar roads before with India and Pakistan. And why is this so important? First of all, they both have nuclear weapons. Second of all, they're neighbors. And third of all, this is a global flashpoint. I remember, 10 years ago, I think it was, I had some global expert on. And I asked him, I said, what area of the world are you most concerned about? And expecting him to say, oh, the Middle East, obviously, that's, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, no, it's India, Pakistan. And I was taken aback. I was like, really? He goes, oh, yeah, they have nuclear weapons. They dislike each other very much, not necessarily the citizens, but the countries. He goes, if I were to say the most worrisome area of the globe when it comes to global conflict, he said India, Pakistan. That was 10 years ago. So this is there's so much news today, and yesterday, but this is a very, very important story. And they've saber rattled before, but nothing this severe in quite some time. So obviously something to worth monitor. And again, we had, was it John Decker, Deborah? John Decker, the White House correspondent on. And I asked him when President Trump said we got a big announcement coming, his first guess was that it was a trade deal with India. Right. He didn't think it would be China because we're not down that road yet. But he thought that the big announcement would be a trade deal with India. I wonder if the Trump administration had to pivot. Like, India's in no place right now to make trade deals when they're, going back and forth with Pakistan. So maybe that big announcement was India, but now they shifted it to the United Kingdom because India, they've got their hands full right now. They really can't negotiate on tariffs. I wonder if that's the case. Speaking of tariffs, Deborah, I've never owned a Volvo. I like them, though. I remember years ago I was shopping for a new car and went up to some Volvo dealership in Roswell maybe or Alpharetta. Really nice dealership, but I didn't wind up getting one. It was a little out of my price range, but I've always had an affinity for Volvos. I've driven in them. I've driven them as a rental car, et cetera, but I've never owned one. The tariffs now impacting Volvo Automotive, and Volvo announced layoffs, Deborah. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Volvo is going to cut about 5% of its workforce over in South Carolina's plant, and that's all because of the tariffs that are coming, which ends up being about 125 people. But they're also saying that they did commit to adding about 4,000 jobs to the state when they initially opened that factory. So they're just going to have to pivot and see where they can put those jobs.
So this isn't in Europe, Volvo. This is in South Carolina. The Volvo plant. So 5% layoffs there. I'm very curious of all the tariff implications and industries that could be affected. I know the toy industry has gotten the headlines in the last couple of days, but for me, it's the automotive industry, especially here in Georgia. We have such a big segment of the automotive industry, the plants here. That to me is what I'm most concerned about. I'd not say concerned about, but most interested in. Like, what will the tariffs mean to the automotive industry? And maybe we'll see President Trump's hinted that there might be some tariff relief when it comes to the automobile industry. But Volvo laying off 5% of their workforce up in South Carolina, to me, is a big deal. No word, as far as I know, no word yet on the new pope. The Pope, what's interesting about Pope Francis, Deborah, is, I mean, he was different from a lot of previous popes, but one most notably different was the way he dressed, right? He dressed differently than Pope John Paul did and Pope Benedict, right? You notice that as a devout Catholic, right?
Yeah, he always wanted to be very simple. He gave himself to the church, and he didn't necessarily, he wore the vestments, obviously, but if he didn't have to, I think he would have been a jeans and a t-shirt guy all the time.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we got clarification on a couple of things. We know who rings the church bells now in Rome, who's in charge of synchronizing all the church bells. We know that the Pope has a number of chefs, so he doesn't have to buy his meals, so he doesn't need that never-ending pasta pass that I was going to send him from Olive Garden. But what about the Pope's clothing? The new Pope will be blessed with new vestments. Nora O'Donnell visited two family-run tailors who've been making the cassocks for a long time. They're also waiting to see if their garment is going to be worn by the new Pope.
The Pope's basic garment is hand-stitched white wool cassock, sometimes adorned with a burgundy elbow-length cape, something Pope Francis did without. The outfit completed with a white skull cap called a zucchetto.
Did things become more simple when Francis was Pope?
Yes, more simple.
And what do you think now for the future?
I don't know. Good question.
While Alessia has seen the images of the papal vestments hanging inside the Vatican's Room of Tears, she can't be sure it's their families until the new Pope greets his faithful for the first time.
I never thought about the wardrobe required to be the Pope, right? This is... there's so many different outfits, Deborah, for different ceremonies and for services and masses. That was not something discussed in the Pope's, again, going back to Conclave, Deborah, just the movie, not real life. But the Pope had a pretty modest bedroom in that movie, right?
What I remember, yeah, very simple room.
Very simple room, but we didn't see a closet. I would imagine the Pope has got a massive walk-in closet for all the out. I mean, seriously, right? That's... He has so many different because of the history behind it, and with so many different events that he has got to participate and lead in, and Easter Mass, Christmas Mass. I mean, there's got to be special uniforms for.
I don't think it's necessarily a walk-in closet. From what I know, it's a room because they'll get dressed at church. Like they have your normal clothes on when you're at your house or your apartment or whatever. And when you go to church that day, at least because the deacons around my church, you see them ahead of time. They're just in normal clothes. And then once it's time for Mass is when they put their vestments on. So I imagine it's actually a room at the church where they have everything laid out.
Do they? This is a question you might not know the answer to, Deborah. Do they have altar boys at the Vatican?
I did not get to go to Mass when we were at the Vatican, so I don't remember seeing them.
They probably
should, though,
they right?
Wouldn't. Yeah. I imagine they would, or at least something equivalent to that. Yeah.
That's like if you're an altar boy at the Vatican, that's like being a bat boy for the Braves, right? Like that's that is it. Like that is the most supreme altar boy post you could ever get. I wonder if people use influence, like, hey, big Catholic donator in Spain calls up the Vatican. He's like, listen, my son wants to be an altar boy. I give so much to the church. Hook it up. And deals are made like that in the corporate world. Hey, my son's is at Harvard right now. He needs an internship for the summer. Hook him up. I wonder if phone calls like that are made.
Probably.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can see how geeked out I am over this, the conclave. I just absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. All right, hey, congrats to Rodney in Atlanta. He won a pair of tickets to see an amazing concert at Ameris Bank Amphitheater on September 18th. Judas Priest, Alice Cooper. I believe we'll have one more pair of those to give away tomorrow on the show. Coming up next.
With this deal, the UK joins the United States in affirming that reciprocity.
More on the deal,
fairness,
the trade deal between the United States and the United Kingdom. But first, let's check the Thursday morning ride live with the latest. Alex Williams.
Still watching some brake lights on the south side. 75 northbound is due to that left lane construction on the 75 north ramp to 285 westbound. The inner loop down there by the airport, be mindful of that. The West Freeway, 20 eastbound, seeing some volume leaving Riverside Parkway over to the west side perimeter. All those trucks trying to ramp onto 285 there. And in DeKalb County, crash still mostly all to the right. 285 southbound, the inner loop East Ponce, exit 40. You're seeing a few brake lights back toward La Vista Road, but just know that all lanes are open there in DeKalb. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB. WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The massive project at 285 and Georgia 400 has been a big improvement.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
The latest incident comes when a SWAT team is called after a suspect.
Your 24/7 news
They
source.
had no ties to a gang.
When you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
Hey, remember that crack in the concrete by your pool, the one everyone keeps tripping on? It's still there. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions can fix that. Just schedule a free inspection at aquaguard.net and a team of experts will stop by to help you out. Remember the name.
AquaGuard. Hey, it's your buddy Shelley Winter here, co-host of The Car Guys with my good friend and brother, Kevin Deutsch, from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Whatever you want to know about buying, selling, leasing, or maintaining a vehicle, Kevin has your answers.
That's right, Shelley. For over 40 years, I've sold, leased, fixed, and financed pretty much every make and model. I've seen it all. If you have any car questions, we'll have the answers every Saturday at noon.
It's The Car Guys, Saturdays at noon on 95.5 WSB, brought to you by Butler Lexus of South Atlanta.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
And 6/22/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
I know we just started spring, but already Maya and I have turned on the AC in our house a couple of times. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. We are going to use our AC a lot this summer. I'm sure you will as well. Great new deal from my friends at Reliable. Check this out, folks. Get any size air conditioning, any size AC, just $69.99 a month. Zero down payment, low monthly payments, unbeatable lifetime warranty, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. Yes, any size AC, just $69.99 a month, zero down, low monthly payments. Don't go into another sweltering summer with your old AC unit. Get a new one from my friends at Reliable. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the Schedule Service button, or call or text 770-594-9969, 770-594-9969.
Guys, if you're having ED or performance issues and Viagra and Cialis haven't worked, you need to come see Choice Men's Health. Give us a call or visit us online at choicemenshealth.com. Get your love life back and choose Choice Men's Health.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations, my deck experts. What makes them my experts? Well, for starters, when you have Ben Hill Renovations upgrading your outdoor living space, you're dealing with professionals. You have a company building to code, current and future. You have a company pulling permits when needed, with a dedicated project manager for every job, superior craftsmanship from over 60-plus years of experience, and all backed by their workmanship warranty. Whether you want a screened-in porch, an outdoor living area, a multi-story wraparound deck, or just a simple deck with a set of stairs, Ben Hill Renovations has you covered. Plus, they offer multiple financing options, up to 18 months, no interest with affordable monthly payments. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com and set up an appointment, or visit their showroom and speak with a designer. You won't be disappointed. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people pay to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Oh, almost 11:55. This morning has just flown by. Breaking news all over the place, monitoring what's going on at the Vatican, what's going on with India and Pakistan, and trying to get more details on the trade deal that President Trump is announcing or has announced with the United Kingdom. Let's hear a little more from the president and this deal.
For us, it's not the end. It's the end just of the beginning. I mean, there is yet more we can do in.
No idea what that is, but Vinny gave me this other cut.
I think that it's a great deal for both parties. It's for us. We're opened up. I didn't know how closed it was. Quite closed, the market, as you know, the UK, and it opens up a tremendous market for.
There you go. So any more details on the trade deal, we'll bring them to you live. Real quick, Deborah, this number shocked me. How much does it cost to raise a child in the state of Georgia?
Yeah, a new Lending Tree reports it costs about $19,000, just over $19,000 to raise a child here in Georgia. And over 18 years, that ends up being over $200,000.
Say that number again?
$19,000 to raise a child.
But $200,000 for what?
It comes over $200,000 for 18 years.
For 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of World Cup tickets you could be buying, Longoria. So Longoria is 200,000 times 2.
It's 400,000.
I was going to do the math for you. Yeah, it's $400,000.
Yeah, I know.
You need a raise.
I need something.
Yeah.
GoFundMe, something.
Leslie is your GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Longoria. $400,000. That's a lot of Legos, buddy. A lot of Whataburgers.
Longoria's fact of the day.
Yeah, somebody's got to get this fact of the day sponsorship so I can start affording that. Today is Have a Coke Day, and the name Coca-Cola refers to two of the original ingredients, cocoa leaves and cola nuts. Coca-Cola was formerly sold as a nerve tonic medicine that relieved exhaustion.
That's what I need. This news cycle is exhausting me. Everyone can the president go on vacation for like Teddy Roosevelt used to go? Teddy Roosevelt used to leave the White House, Deborah, and take like 2 months off to go hunting in Montana. And you couldn't contact him.
Send Trump out with Charlie. Then
yeah, go hog hunting in the Florida Everglades like Charlie from the Eric Erickson show. Charlie. Low T. He's forever low T, Chuck. I'm sorry. All right, good fact of the day,
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Arum star of the show?
I got to start with Vinny the Kid. Came in early, trading on the Lenny's Morning News. I was peppering him with stuff throughout the show. I don't know what that last piece of audio was, but I'll forgive him. Vinny, well done. You got our guests down here. Fantastic. So Vinny gets the star of the show. Sabina Castellafranco joined us live from Rome. Peter Greenberg, fantastic analysis from him when it comes to what's going on in Newark and Real ID. Jen Hildreth in studio. Check out her book, Tough as a Mother. Used to hang out with Jen back in the day, and she finally remembered me, Deborah. Michael Seiden from Channel 2, and Jim Ryan from ABC. Tomorrow on the show, Buddy Carter in studio, Georgia representative running for Senate. He's going to join us live in studio tomorrow, plus political analyst Bill Crane, and all of the news going on around Metro Atlanta and the globe. We got you back. Don't go anywhere. 5K Day bonus splits keyword coming up after the news. Social media is active. Even when I'm off the air, at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe. Have a great Thursday, Atlanta.
Yeah. Said he's going back to a simpler place and time. Oh, yes, he is.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard, sponsored by Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
New reports show that people are not taking home their leftovers when they go out and eat at a restaurant. Restaurant meals are the most expensive they've ever been. That's throwing good money away. It's another meal for you. It's a dollar stretcher. So unless you've got money you want to throw out on the street, just toss it mindlessly away, get those leftovers. Take them home.
hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count, with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 12 o'clock, I'm Austin Eller. This news brought to you by Jim Ellis Automotive. Our top story, we are on smoke watch at the Sistine Chapel as the conclave votes for the next pope. If no smoke is seen shortly, that next window will reopen at about 1 o'clock. Reverend Jordi Pajul says it's a huge weight on the cardinals as they cast their ballots.
Every cardinal with his ballot approaches the urn, and he sees, the first thing that he sees is just Jesus Christ, and that, presiding the last judgment. Like a call not to fear, but a call to responsibility, to accountability.
This election must receive at least 2/3 of the 133 votes to be chosen. It is 74 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. Another cloudy day today. Some pop-up showers around. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up at 12:05. President Trump and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced this afternoon a trade deal to cut tariffs on UK autos, steel, and aluminum. The UK will also buy more American beef and streamline its customs process for U.S. goods.
So we have a big economic security blanket, and that's very important. And we feel very, very comfortable with that because it's been a great ally, truly one of our